Out of eyes tryna put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beamer, yeah. Choice. If you want one, there you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer, yeah. Lil' shawty, always out of molly, you ain't really got a talk, so like why you tryna stop me, yeah? Hey, nobody finna come and body me, I know what you want, but you ain't gonna come top me, what? Yeah, I gotta check, I'm finna cop Balenciagas, yeah, I'm living with no stress, I don't gotta carry choppers, couple Corvette, now I'm riding with your daughter, Gucci camo vest, quit applying, I'ma stop you, yeah, I've been riding with a gang, I've been shut up with a thing, I've been rolling with the same shawty, hey, I ain't capping every lane, ain't nobody stop my game, shawty wanna make it rain with me. Yes, out of eyes tryna put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beamer, yeah. Choice. If you want one, then you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer, yeah.
Chat of Rooskies, what is a goodie with it? This is actually the Gen G FPX live match that's going on right now. But we just hopped on, still waking up. But we have, who do we have next? G2 and Team Heretics. So EMEA versus America's Showdown. Dun, dun, Chat, good morning. Hope you guys are feeling well. What up with it? What up with it? Should we run that back, dude, or what, man? Guys, we have a new home here. We did our what do you call it? What do you call it, dude? We did our offboarding, Twitch offboarding. So we're our new home is going to be here on YouTube. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, this is our new home, so we got to get comfy over here. Turn this up. Getting interesting.
The crowd willing. FPX on.
Let's get back in here and check this out. Yeah, so we did our offboarding on Twitch. So this is our new home. Lilith crew comes on over to permanently for the YouTubers. So pretty excited. Riot Games is hosting this. I missed yesterday because I was in New York. We just got back. Had a show I went to and it was awesome. It was really cool, really good. Got back and I got these bad boys. These bad boys came in. The fresh questions. You feel me? Got that cream tip, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so pretty happy, man. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, so this is gonna be G2Esports versus Team Heretics. More information is over at ValorantEsports.com if you wish. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to talk here on the channel. I don't really like to talk through the casters. So we're gonna let them do their thing. Riot does a good job of putting on a good show, and so we're just gonna sit back, tune in. I'll be in chat in spirit. Sarah's gonna be in chat too here in a little bit. She said she's just waking up. Yeah, so me and her will be in there moderating. I'll be there with you in spirit. If you have any questions, we'll hang out this morning. I gotta have breakfast still, so I'm just gonna sit back, cut the cam. We're just gonna watch the action. What else? I don't even really know what else, man. I'm like too tired. I need to like rehydrate. It's been a long couple days, man. Long couple Hey.
FPX pushed them to the absolute limit, took them down on their pickup loads, nearly took us to another.
Oh, we did get the. I think we got the new merch drop. I think that dropped yesterday. They said. We only have. Which ones? We have the black T-shirts, medium and large, and then we have the white ones, T-shirt as well, but the logo's on the other sleeve than this one.
FPX is gonna make playoffs with the way they're playing right now.
The flame, instead of being on the left, it's on the right, and then this is going to be over here on the white ones. Also, for those ones, only medium and large for the white tees as well. Streamlabs.com/lepcon. Anyone wants to show some love over there, I appreciate it.
Just as good as EDG. So yeah, those playoffs are gonna be scary.
So we're getting cozy on YouTube, man. Very excited. Just excited this morning just to tune in. I got to miss. We missed the first 2 days. So this is big, man. This is big. I can't believe this is. Dude, texture. Like texture. Yeah. I thought he was gonna close it out a little bit here, a little bit sooner. Texture's so good, dude.
Like a broken record, but their resilience unbreakable.
Absolutely. What an incredible performance. What an incredible series. But now we've got Yinsu standing by on stage with Karon.
And I wonder who's is it gonna be Sideshow and Bren that
by Karen here on stage. Luna is going to do a bit of a translation, and Jen.
or no, they're not even in Shanghai, are they?
You only joined this team back in December. It feels like this is the very start of your.
I don't even think they're in Shanghai.
Back-to-back international tournaments, back-to-back playoffs as well here. How do you do it? How are you guys so good?
其实像我们 Karen 选手现在来到今季其实是很短的时间，但是你能够做到连续2次进入到世界赛事，並且能够做到晋级到了淘汰赛，你们是怎么做到的呢？
Had to get my coffee, man.
카론 선수 12월에 팀에 영입된 이후에 계속해서 2연속
All right, so chat.
플레이오프 진출이라는 엄청난 결과를 이루고 있는데
Good stuff.
어떻게 이렇게 잘하는 걸까요?
Good to be here. Good to be back home.
저희 코치 감독님들하고 팀원 형들이 저를 잘 이끌어 주어가지고 여기까지 온 것 같고.
Wait, did it, Sam?
그리고 저희 팀원 간의
No shot.
뭐라 해야 되지? 팀 합의나 같이 저희가 친해져가지고 이런 게임적인 부분에서도 그런 게 좋은 작용을 하는 것 같습니다.
Well, props to the coaching staff and my teammates for leading me throughout the international events and every single match. And also, we have a great bond
It is.
of a brotherhood and a friendship. Also, the team synergy going on, so that explains why we're so strong.
其实我觉得是我们的教练组以及对团队里面的哥哥们一直在引领着我，在每一次的世界赛当中，
Interesting.
每场比赛都是这样帮助着我，以及我们队伍里面有非常好的领
Yeah.
非常好的兄弟姐妹，也是一直在帮助着我。
Of course, for the next round, as you know, the 4 teams that have already made playoffs from each region will get to choose which team they face. It does feel like I don't think any team will want to choose you guys because you're looking so good right now.
That is too funny.
This time.
那其实，在淘汰赛已经有4支队伍
Too funny, too funny.
等待着 GNG 的到来，但我相信可能
All right, let me get on chat real quick here.
那你觉得你会想去面对哪一支队伍呢？
네, 플레이오프에 올라가면
Tryna put you in a.
일본 시드 팀들이 좀 상대가 누가 될지를 뽑게 할 수 있잖아요. 근데 아무도 젠지를 뽑기 싫을 것 같은데 그래도 카론 선수나 아니면 젠지의 입장에서는 플레이오프에서 누구를 만나고 싶나요?
저는 그 플레이오프에서 그
스나틱 페이퍼렉스 100T EDG
저 개인적으로 백티 만나고 싶습니다.
100 Thieves.
Oh, okay.
他们想要
All right, we're gonna turn him off for a second. We're gonna replay this. What? Who do you want? 100 Thieves? Is that what they said? Who does he thinks is gonna win? He said 100 Thieves. What the? All right, who we got come? Oh, it's G2. All right, Munchkin, come on, baby.
If you want one, there you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer. I'm a racer, yeah. Lil' shawty, always out of Molly. You ain't really got a talk, so like why you tryna stop me, yeah. Hey, nobody finna come and body me. I know what you want, but you ain't gonna come top me, what? Yeah, I gotta check, I'm finna cop Balenciagas. Yo, living with no stress, I don't gotta carry choppers. Couple Corvette, now I'm riding with your daughter. Gucci camo vest, quit applying, I'ma stop you. Yeah, I've been riding with a gang, I've been shut up with a thing, I've been rolling with the same shawty. Hey, I ain't capping.
All right, there you go, chat. Just if anyone stops, swings through, they know what we're doing. They know what the business is.
Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beamer, yeah. If you want one, then you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer. I'm a racer.
Sir, yeah. All right. Yeah, so we're out of here. Time to tune into some morning cartoons with Riot games. All right, chat. Be good. I'll be in chat again. I think Sarah's jumping in here in a few minutes to help moderate. And then Samson, you're in Discord. Hold it down for the boys. Yeah. Be good, guys. Enjoy. Again, if you need more info, ValorantEsports.com. Let's get it. Do you need her? Do you need her?
Red Bull gives you wings.
Guy yesterday said it's more on the way. I done made a lot of money and it's more on the way. I done got a couple plaques and it's more on the way. I put a lot of people on and it's more on the way. Lego popping up. If life a marathon, I got no choice but run amok. I've been sliding on these tracks, my haters need a salt truck. And it still won't melt the ice, and it's black. And I'm back, you talking down, what is that? Bro, you act like we ain't blessed or something. God ain't flexing something. If you want me on your set or something, cut a check or something. We been bringing dreams to life like Freddy Krueger, we ain't done. I've been moving on this blind faith from staring at the sun. Just when it sound like they don't see it, let alone what it feel like. Dog, why you worry about them? Go get your own life. Counting everybody pockets like you work for Levi. Oh my, that won't get you nowhere.
I came way too far from hiding, seeking from the police. But it came way too far, my gang was sitting in the nosebleed. Praying down on my knees, then got back up, we in the floor seats. Yeah, looking at full court games, like of course we had to go stats on full course meals, now it's more on the way. Why would I stress about these bills? I got more on the way. I'm a still a winning politician, more on the way. Pull up deep, I'm never solo, and it's more on the way. I done put a lot of people on, they got no thank you. I ain't saying I'm God or nothing, but I'm Allen Iverson. When I talk about crosses, I ain't trying to break your ankles. Tell them I've been stepping for so long, I got cankles. Wanna make me mad, try to come tell me what Jesus can't do. Make me mad, but you better be glad you ain't no villain, Jesus saved. Baby,
Wait, that's crazy. We were just talking about that's crazy. We were actually just talking about these new Iversons. Yeah, we were literally just talked about the. I just got these yesterday. Got that cream of the crop. Oh, they fit good too. All right, I'm cutting the cam, chat. I'm with you in spirit. Love you guys. Hope you guys are good. Happy Saturday.
Welcome back to day 3 of Masters Shanghai and our second match of the day. It's going to be Team Heretics taking on G2Esports. A spot in the playoffs is on the line, and they could be joining Gen G, who just came hot off of a big win over FPX. I'm Golden Boy alongside with Mimi. You got Kukuka there as well. We're going to yap about this matchup because it's going to be an exciting one. We've got, honestly, a fascinating matchup here because it's going to be some firsts, all right? Because here's the deal, right? This is going to be Americas versus EMEA, which, you know, we talk about all the time. It's, you know, it's this narrative we mention all the time. But the thing is, though, is that both of these teams have never beaten the opposing team's region before. So there's a little opportunity for someone to do something cool today. A nice little breaking up.
Yeah, both these teams kind of have a similar history at global events. Like the core of G2, we saw them go to Iceland with the guard. They went out 0-2. One of the teams they lost to was Paper X, and then Optic was the other squad, the Top America squad. And it was basically the same thing for Team Heretics in our first global event, Madrid of this year, right? Losing to Paper X and then losing to Sentinels, the Top American squad at that time. They've now both picked up their first global win here in Shanghai and are looking to get their second and qualify to playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And the fashion in which they did it, of course, is very important, right? G2 first counter starting very well on that breeze, then losing 1-13, and then coming back from a 9-3. Hear me out. And then Heretics, right, putting Wood in that duelist role because Minibu is not able to be here, but still getting the win. Okay, it wasn't against the strongest team in the competition, but hey, they got it.
For sure, for sure. But let's go ahead, though, and recap, you know, that G2 win because they had to dig deep to pull off that massive comeback against T1. And also, begrudgingly, I'm sure, against their former teammate and Saya player, Belief didn't give a care about any of that crap.
You said begrudgingly, but I feel like that motivated them even more.
Potentially, but you saw the love affair between Valen and Saya.
The love affair?
You saw it.
Calling it.
I think it's safe to say it was a romantic comedy in real time.
The game.
Hear me out. Amazing retakes that we saw coming in from G2. I think is definitely something that we need to highlight and is going to be very, very important here because as we're saying, especially on that third map, it looked like everything was lost after losing on that half 9-3 and that, you know, very bad loss on Iceland.
Yeah, I mean, the comeback was ridiculous. Jonah in this tweet saying that they haven't really been known as a comeback team, and that's very much true in Americas, but they come back from 3-9 on that third map. And to me, this is really just proof of the growth, right? You think back to that roster who played at Iceland too. You know, they were playing great opposition, but the game kind of fell apart to them. But here they show that strength. They managed to come back in, and Autumn had some other thoughts about Leaf too.
I didn't even notice that.
I hadn't seen that tweet.
Yeah, I had not seen that tweet. You guys said that there was a unsavory word in there, but I didn't see the tweet.
Just
context, though. Autumn has coached Leaf in the past.
Yes.
On Cloud9.
I love it. That's just way
I mean, he has reason to say that because Leaf was definitely a force to be
monstrous in that game. It was just absurd what this guy was doing. But I mean, you were talking about their retakes. I feel like the other big thing was the way that they were like kind of having a lot of these really well put together executes on their attacking side. This is when they were playing that kind of Gen G style comp with the Astra and the Yoru. And while Icy's not normally a guy who's like lighting up the world in terms of the kill counts, he does so well on that Yoru in combination with the team's system.
Yeah.
They're a super drilled squad, and I think they showed that on that breeze.
That's the thing, like there were so many layers to this team, okay? You have Leaf locking down the sides, but then the executes and the Yoru utility that was combined with Valiance and Trent that was just following on
so
everything.
Yeah.
It was so good to see. How could they not win?
Yeah, and also, you mentioned Leaf, and it was just great to see him back on the global stage yet again. And when he showed up big time. This guy was impactful.
The thing is, it's been a while since we've seen Leaf at a global, but every time he's showing up to global events, he's performing. I remember like the first year of Valorant international competition. This guy at Berlin was lights out playing with Cloud9 then. Now 3 years later, he's still doing it on a new team, and crucially, on a new role, right? Like he's doing this on the Killjoy and the Cypher, and I love the way he plays around his utility. I think a lot of the rounds where he's playing Cypher, and I think he like weaves in and out of his cages and does such a good job of isolating the right pick. If you see a team executing into his site, you don't doubt that he's going to get 2-3 kills and stop that exit.
Yeah, exactly, because it's also a big part of his own decision, right? Like he wanted to be the Sentinel, try out something new, and he fits so well for the role because, as you're saying, you can leave him alone, and it doesn't matter if it's from the attack, just anchoring aside, like being completely alone, just covering or even going on the lurk, he's going to be fine.
I'm just convinced you can put Leaf in pretty much any role and he'll pop off.
I
He's just that good.
honestly think he's like perennially one of the at least from America's, one of the most underrated players. This guy has been so consistently strong on Cloud9 last year. Before that at global events, he's just such an incredible player, and also a super vocal guy who has a lot of ideas and stuff to the team.
Exactly. He's provided so much to G2. But let's go ahead and see, though, what the man himself had to say when he had to catch up with Yintu earlier on.
Is she in the cave?
I got Leaf here with me from G2. Now, you're about to go up against Team Heretics today, and I feel like you and Benji Fishy are probably two of the best players in your role right now. So how are you feeling about this matchup?
I feel like I love Fortnite, and I love Benji Fishy.
I love one of those things. But yeah, thank you very much, Leaf.
Thank you.
Okay, as a former Fortnite commentator, that was great. I genuinely love that. Oh, man. All right, but look, you know, even though...
Do you think you could box Benji Fishy?
If I could box Benji Fishy? Hell no. I cannot fight him in a 1v1 box fight, even till this day.
And the worst part is that he would win, and then he would smile at you and be like, that was so fun.
He will literally do the World Cup thing. He'll just put his thumbs up. But there's actually a very interesting narrative that's been built here. The real drama, some might say, because you see, you know, the Heretics coach, Neilzinho, actually is looking for revenge against his former team, organization, because it has nothing to do with the current G2 lineup. But it is actually kind of cool to see Neilzinho, you know, have another stab at the G2 organization here and take an opportunity to take him down a peg.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I want to pick up on something that Patitech said yesterday on the
because Patitech was also on that.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like every player in EMEA has at some point been in G2. Yeah, when they were in Europe, of course. But Patitech also said that he felt like he has some personal, like, kind of vendetta against them because there was some backstabbing, some shady things. His words, not mine. Hear me out. He wants to take down G2, the organization again, not the players. But I'm really looking forward to it. We're talking about motivation, right? Maybe against a player. I'm telling you, Patitech has a very strong one.
Well, let's go ahead and see what Neilzinho had to say ahead of today's matchup.
We have a huge game ahead of us today. I'm joined by Team Heretics coach Neilzinho. Now, you kind of made your name as the G2 coach a while ago, a long time ago, but this team is very, very different to the team that you used to be on. So what do you think sets Heretics apart right now from this G2?
I think it's going to be a really close game. Like, it's completely different G2 to what I was in, you know, like Woot and, you know, NS were like 14 when I was in G2. So yeah, it's a completely different roster, completely different region. Obviously it would have been nice to play them with our full strength roster and like a lot more practice under our belts, but I'm just excited to play the org again. Me and Patty are going to look for revenge, so yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you very much for your time.
And look, here's the deal, right? When Heretics showed up at Madrid, we were all really excited for them, and they played great. I mean, undoubtedly they played great, but unfortunately they went 0-2. But this time around, they decided to come out the gate swinging, and they did. With Patatek on the roster once again. The GOAT sub, the sub of all subs, the super sub, some might say. And wow, what a performance that they had against DRG. And look, you could make the case DRG maybe not the strongest team in comparison.
And I think
but man, when I look at what they did, they just were so nasty.
No, I think you should make the argument that it was one of the weaker opposition that you could get at this event.
For sure.
But I think that's actually perfect for Team Heretics.
It's a warm-up,
yeah,
right?
They're bringing in a new player, and I mean, man, they warmed up. They stomped them 13-5 on each map, and we saw great stuff from them. Patatek and Woot, the coordination was on point between the two. Patatek was kind of fitting back into some
I just
of
love
these
we
same
say they brought in a
ideas.
new player, but they really didn't.
They brought back an old player. I suppose.
At what point are we just going to say that Heretics has a 6-man roster?
Yeah, I think I
think
they kind of do.
Yeah.
I think we should, but I think it's very important something that you're mentioning, Mimi. The coordination between Woods and Patatek, even though they were the ones that were like dodging each other, was really on point.
They were setting each other
Really
nice.
good to see that the protocol stays the same and you can slot players in.
And Woot was incredible. It was such a good debut for this
I can't
kid
wait to see more.
on the global stage. He is looking lights out right now, and they were implementing so much of the good stuff we saw from them in EMEA, even with the change-up. This is a Team Heretics who looks super dangerous. This is going to be a big task for G2 today.
Oh, 100%. If Woot has half the game that he had against DRG, we're looking at a good old-fashioned slobber knocker, people. It's now time to send it over to the stage because we're going to get this one underway. It's G2 and Team Heretics.
We gotta stay away.
Team Heretics. G2.
Since the dawn of time in Valorant, it's always been EU versus NA. And here we are again singing a very similar song, this time with fresh faces. It's G2 versus Team Heretics. A slot in the playoffs is up for grabs. It's a question of who wants it more.
And remember the stakes, 4 days off. If you win this match, a chance to prepare for the playoffs, it would be massive. But already looking at these map vetoes here, we're going to be starting off on Lotus.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, especially because Team Heretics decides to go for this map. It's a map that they have a lot of experience in. Change the compositions during the middle of the stage, and I want to see how they react now that Wood is slotting in. It makes a lot of sense to just keep him on the race because that's what he decided to go for Sunset. But hey, maybe they have something cooked up.
We're also seeing G2 kind of lock into the bind here, which wasn't something they were really often picking throughout the Americas stage. But we did see some great performances, such as taking down 100 Thieves on what has been their best map there with bind. So I think two great strengths for both of these squads to start off the series.
Now, if you are a stat Stanley and you happen to go, check out what G2's record is on this throughout the season, it isn't great. We were talking about this before, but it does make me wonder, right, Mimi? Like what does G2 see in this bind map that they felt so confident here to take Team Heretics on against, right?
I wonder if it comes a little bit down to what Team Heretics is running on this map. They run a really kind of unique comp with an Omen Viper and then like double initiator with the Yoru. I've been kind of not a huge fan of the solo Yoru comps on this map. I think it limits your options on dive when you don't have that raise. And also I think you lack some soul with that composition. Yeah. So I wonder if they see a weakness there.
But there's a big problem. Are they even going to run the Yoru? Because you're talking about the raise not being there, but Wood should
running with old info.
Exactly. So maybe that goes up against them. But when we think about the Lotus, this is the map that they managed to get that huge a comeback in the other day. Feeling very comfortable about the retakes and how they were interpreting the map. if they manage to do it again, I mean, it would be surprising. But we also understand why Heretics decided to pick up this match. We heard in the interview the other day, hey, we're just gonna be looking at what we did good, what G2
they're running on limited practice.
Exactly. They only have what they have. So hey, let's go to Lotus. That's always a good choice.
The one issue always is picking into Lotus. We've seen this with a lot of teams who are big Lotus pickers. Is your opponent starts. That's a fine thing to say. Don't laugh at me. Oh, thank you. But when you pick into this map, your opponent is almost always going to be choosing that attacking side. And if you can win that pistol, get ult online for your raise, say on the bonus, the snowball can be huge. But as we look at our agent select here, Team Heretics is going to go back to that double initiator comp that they've looked great on throughout EMEA.
Yeah, exactly. The question was, are they going to go for the double controller? Are they going to stick to this? And
all right, so this is interesting for me.
It's definitely going to be interesting because this is not the composition that they were running when Heretics was back in there. So I don't know how much practice.
I like Heretics.
We have an awesome head-to-head here between.
All right, how can I put this?
And Leaf, they were lighting the world on fire in both of their last 2 games. Watching these Sentinel players is going to be a fun one here for a shot in playoffs.
I like Valen.
You got Doug and Baby Bay on the call.
But I'm going to EMEA. I'm going Team Heretics. Let's get it.
Versus Heretics, it doesn't get any better than this. A spot in playoffs.
I spoke my piece, man.
That there's plenty to be excited about for, Dre.
Yeah, it's going to be a banger, especially on this Lotus map. I mean, both teams are really, really good at it. And the players that are going to stick out to me the most is going to be that head-to-head with Leaf and Benji Fishy, who have both been playing spectacular for both their sides.
Yeah, that's what Mimi was just talking about. I believe the way she put it was lighting the world on fire, and that's just such an apt way to describe it. We'll see how things play out. G2 starting off on the attacking side, a little bit of a lean towards mid early on, and there is some defensive presence already, courtesy of Riant and Patty Tech.
And this fault line could be disaster for G2, and it's all off of Patty-Tech's first info, but I feel like G2 are sniffing it out of the water. They don't want anything to do with this front B.
Yeah, I think Rian's used it right at the beginning of the round too, so if they were to want to hit it, there is a timing window, albeit slight, but a timing window that they could hit, but they choose to head towards a little bit of an exploratory mission with no real information of what's happening on the other side because they didn't have any presence here at the beginning. They've spotted Boo, a little bit of a jump spot.
They're so slow, G2 right now. They're really letting it cook and settle in, and they're hitting the right site right now.
Yeah, there's that fault line that you said. It's back up online. Oh, Leaf having to dance around that early bit of utility. Feeling some of the pressure. They're going to split the door down, and they're going to crunch B.
There's so many players here for Heretics.
That fault line, there they are on the swing. A 1-for-1 is traded. Patty-Tech managing to get both and stay alive for now. But it's an overwhelming flood from G2. Meanwhile, Leaf, who was there the entire time, strikes when the moment is right.
He put on so much pressure this entire round, and he closes it out. Leaf being a complete menace in front B while that split came through, and the trades went in favor of G2.
And it was a perfect setup. He just bided his time from beginning to end. Remember, he was the one that was spotted at the very beginning. That crunch call was perfect.
Exactly. He was supposed to be first contact there that entire time to get the info on where the players are on that B site. And that opened up the window of opportunity after G2 feinted that A site. They opened the door, sent the Fade Prowler in there and split B. It really caught Team Heretics off guard in the middle of their rotations. And Patty-Tech, I mean, he almost brought it back, and he's been great so far.
The game has been brought back. We're already into the next round. Heretics with a couple of sheriffs to their name. And a triple stack A. And of course, that's where G2's headed.
And this is very similar to last round. So conditioning, again, towards the A. This time, though, to change the pace, it's faster. They have better guns. Why not take the space aggressively?
And Leaf is not nearly as far up. He just had his turret cleared mid. He's going to be controlling that late flank. Meanwhile, G2 full steam ahead towards A. But again, this is where the majority of the stack is. If they can avoid disaster, if they can avoid some of these messy rounds, they should be okay. And it looks like they're only going to lose one, or at least have only lost one so far. Icy with a massive round 3 so far. And that's all it'll be. Big frags for the youngster. Getting his confidence, getting his frag going online is big for G2 early on.
And he's so close to that showstopper already. And I do like that he got these 2 kills on the entry. He was 1 HP after he took down the first player of Heretics on that A site. And then he takes out his counterpart of Woot, who has been, I mean, yesterday he was just out of this world, right?
Yeah, he was absolutely insane.
it will be complete light armor buy here from the side of Heretics, and Leaf, I mean, him and the Outlaw are like twins at this point, and this could be a deadly thorn for Team Heretics.
A little bit of a peek C. There may be a challenge. You just heard that first shot rattle off. No damage dealt, but presence made and pressure felt.
There.
Pressure for sure, and G2 understand that the fault line came from the A side of the map. Rians used that early from that tree area, and this is wise of G2 to double back and re-clear that info. A lot of teams like to throw the breach stun and then head another way.
Leaf has made a fair amount of noise C, but they're not fully biting on this. There are still 2 members from the Heretics defense that are playing A.
Look at how G2 are baiting out all this utility from Heretics on this A refight. They're gonna have the advantage when it comes to an actual site hit, but Benji Fishy's trips might have something to say about that.
And it was a trip that Leaf tried clearing out earlier. He threw a nano out and wasn't able to clear that trip out. Finally falls. There's the cam that he was looking for as well.
Got immense info there. And you see Rians, who rotated off, he's already here for the refight.
Doesn't have a fault line, but he does have more utility to play around. Tapping the door and going B. Woot's able to get the first with a paranoia in his face. Tries to catch a spam on the second. Heretics not able to connect either. The eye goes up, the kills go through as they're all blinded. They all fall. Great round from Heretics.
Yeah, and G2 did a really good job of manipulating all the rotations from Heretics, but it just came down to that 1v1 with Jonah P against Woot. And that kill opened up the retake and the flood for Heretics to take that B site. And you just saw Rians just chucking flashes, all his breach utility in there. This is what opened up the entire moment for the retake and just enabled Woot to get online.
Jonah P gets that kill onto Woot. The site is entirely free. They're able to waltz in, get comfortable.
Exactly. Showstopper will be online soon, though, with this C default from the side of G2. Another fault line invested towards A as well, and Jonah P is going to be communicating that to his team.
That's the second time there that Leaf uses a nano to try to clear the trips, and it's just a bit off the mark.
I love how he buys the Outlaw again. What a maniac. Who might get caught in transition here. Doesn't like what he's seeing. That wall goes up. He might have to fall back or he could get punished here. He's way too close.
Yeah, he's playing a dangerous game. The paranoia, the dog, he's able to TP away. But with the rocket hot to trot behind him, somehow manages to find safe passage out. Woot's timing is really nice here, but he's got a couple of targets to pick from, and he can't land a single one. Now all attention A.
Jonah P may have gotten taken out the last round, but he got it this time. And now they freeze off of that.
I really like this. Icy's in a really good position. The C's is out, but the spike is planted. No real punish, as they're going to attempt to flood down numbers, but instantly equalized. Got to keep a close eye on Icy on the minimap as Benji Fishy goes in towards heaven. Icy's waiting for his moment to strike. The timing is great for him. He can provide a lot of damage here, but Heretics picking them apart one by one. It's all on Icy now, and he's just going to get dropped, spammed through the smokes, overwhelmed and done.
I thought for a second there Heretics were going to miss that raise nade because that tether got so much value on that back side of A. Two players got stuck in there. A raise nade would have killed everybody, but unfortunately Jonah P took Woot out early on. But they were so poised on that retake. They took their time. They were patient. They waited for mistakes to be made from the side of G2, and they just spammed through smokes. You're getting kills like that. I mean, it's always going to go into your favor, I guess.
Yeah, those are tough kills to have to deal with. But a great response from Heretics. You're right, they were really patient on that retake. Resolute, some might say. And it found immense value. The buy for G2, suboptimal. 2 stingers and a couple of sheriffs. This time a little bit more pace towards B. Rian's the only one here, but as they break the panel, reinforcements arrive.
And they already checked that. This is the value that we see from the breach. This is why Heretics plays it. They can be very quick to re-clear space. And Rians is not afraid to just, use every single piece of utility he has in order to do that. They're very explosive with the composition that they have.
Cam goes up, 4 of them spotted, and yeah, it gets cleared, but that will cause some problems as Wood is taking so much space across the middle of the map. He has to understand the rotations are coming through. Here's the footsteps. 3 spotted, none found.
There.
What a wide swing there from Valen. Understanding that his teammates took a couple footsteps, somebody could be there. He has to be that leader for his team and go wide. Breaking the crosshair of Woot. And that's so rare to do because that guy was going nuclear yesterday when people were swinging him like that.
As the door gets tapped, Boo feeling a lot of the pressure. Remember, the buy on the side of G2 at the beginning of the round was less than stellar. Valen managing to upgrade a weapon. A rifle now in hand and be wide open.
What a great call from Valen. Bomb's not going down yet, though, and this gives Heretics a little bit more time to potentially flood in. But the patience.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Rians used his fall line there instead of using it for a retake flood. Either way, not going to be on the cards, at least for the next couple of seconds. 2 members of G2 playing in the smokes, waiting for the right time to flood out from heaven. And look at the hell beneath them. 4 of the 5 members playing close to sight. Icy gonna meet his demise on the other side of that shore. Benji Fishy trying to hit a clip. Almost does. Rians now with Rolling Thunder, 56 HP in a 1v2. Remember, Valen with the superior weaponry will clean him up. The Mastercard Thrifty, the way of G2 in the lead as well.
What an amazing round called by Valen there. And he stepped up for his team and also took 3 players out. I mean, they started with C, go all the way back to A, and then pivot to B. And just that front B kill right here, this wide swing, that was so massive to get that kill. It opened up the opportunity. It opened up the entire map for them to just finesse around. And the post plant for G2, yeah, they had bad guns, but they were trading back and forth, ping-ponging. It was a beautiful round, a beautiful post plant. That being said, Heretics now have 3 ultimates online. Let's see what they can cook up with them in this round.
Wonder how much of this they'll choose to invest. They have 2 sheriffs to go alongside those 3 rifles and the 3 ults that you were mentioning.
They haven't seen a fault line out yet. So they're just very wary of a trap, maybe towards that C. We saw the one-way go up, but this deep camera from Benji Fishy gives Heretics so much info. They're going to be able to cheat over towards this A side of the map. And even if G2 decide to try to split and go B last second, that fault line could be so pivotal in this round.
There's the fault line. Jonah P falls.
That's ult.
Oh, he's got his ult online, and it is triggered.
Oh my gosh.
And it's going to be surrounded by the Nightfall.
Spike down A.
Walls closing in, and G2 with nowhere to go. A decisive round from Heretics as Leaf can't put up a fight.
Still waiting.
They did such a good job of masking the presence of Rians on that breach. Not using that fault line early as they have been. They've been conditioning it at A a couple times, and he's cheating over towards the C side of the map. This time, he uses it once that door is tapped, and then gets the breach ult off of it, and it's just all she wrote from that point on. That was really nice, and that deep camera from Benji Fishy, it just gave them all the info they needed to in order to make that play. And that's going to be a timeout for the side of G2. Josh not liking what they've seen so far.
An early opportunity for the leader to make any adjustments that he might. You can see him back there on your screen, very vocal, very animated.
Yeah. And what a showing so far from the rookie of Icy. It's his 2nd international match, and he's at the top of the leaderboard. It is still 3-3 though. Everybody from G2 is gonna have to step it up and match Icy's pace right now if they want to take out this powerhouse team of Heretics who just seem to just have the never-ending honeymoon phase.
4 ults on the side of the attack. They don't really have the weapons to go with it, but they can, given the tools that they have, steal away one here potentially.
And a new look from the side of Heretics, this time the breach starting on the C side of the map.
Woot's over there too with his ult online.
The problem is no one from G2 is on this side of the map, so if a fault line is invested, they're not going to know if the breach is there or not.
I mean, that had a trap written all over it. Woot satcheled out.
They don't know any of this information. Look at how aggressive Heretics are.
The problem is they're so far away. If G2 strike fast, they're not going to be able to get here in time to stop the plant.
The tether.
Paranoia's the ult's used. Boo has arrived, but Rians and Woot are still so far away. And look at that, they're just playing with the door. They're not fully committing to A here. Icy inserted.
This breach utility so far from Rians has been so good. With that aftershock going down, though, that opens up the opportunity for this Killjoy ult.
That's just going to slow things down for just a moment. Remember, Icy is still inserted, but Boo was looking towards stairs the last time he tried peeking over here. He may be aware as to what's going on. Meanwhile, the pit invested the flood out. Woot finds Trent. The pit will fall, and so will Valen. Icy finding a little bit of space, but Leaf not around for long. And now a 1v4 for the duelist. With Spike well out of reach. And no real way to find space on the site. No satchels, every single crosshair trained on this doorway.
And a shorty.
There's no shot.
Oh, Woot just jump spotted him on top of it. Rians will be the one to clean up the round. And he's doing such a good job so far on the defensive side. G2 wanted to commit to that A hit, but that fault line on the rotation just stunned all of that A lane and denied G2 from actually taking the site. That along with the trip, it was too much for G2 to handle. They didn't like what they saw. And since Heretics has been playing these retakes at such a weird pace, right? They've been taking their time the last couple rounds. This time they're able to flood in with that showstopper. And it's just so hard if you're G2 to get a grasp on how this team is liking to play, especially when you're in this post-plant scenarios.
Fast towards B once more with the Prowler to trail the way. Sees nade not going to connect. Rian's invested his fault line early as well.
Heretics right now are using a lot of utility very early on. So if I'm the side of G2, I want to maybe bait out even more utility and just stack up and maybe just do a 5-man hit onto a site. Because you know they're not going to have all the utility to hold.
Yeah, you just have to guess which site. It has to be the right one. They've gotten past this one already. You see Trent and Icy on the other side of the wall.
Rians has a flash for Boo here.
And the fault line again.
Yep.
They're doing such a good job of using Rian's fault line to delay. Forcing G2 to potentially reconsider.
Wait, that's a little bait.
Yeah.
Spike down.
That tether was to nothing.
It worked against them. I've never seen that before. It's so unfortunate. But that Omen TP, it could be so deceiving. Leaf needs to go huge here.
Yeah, he's got to find a little bit of value. He's going to cross over, draw the rotations. As Rian started to turn back A. It's just Boo who's here now. Leaf gets a second. Well, they're trying to contact out, but Boo's spotting it all. Only one found. The Paranoia traded.
Another fault line.
And the nade at his feet. 13 seconds left. They've got him surrounded. Attention divided. As they have to deal with 3 members of the defense.
Planted.
And they have to fight Boo here in tree, but the flash misses. It doesn't matter for Valen.
Yeah, because he doesn't. A tap of the door. 2v2. Icy with ult online. Valen has this as well.
One enemy remaining.
Patatech will fall. And there's the ult. Rians with so much to do. And the rocket in his face cannot convert.
Finally an answer back for G2.
Anyone have any
Valen
speeds?
coming up
I may have
huge,
jammed my
but we're
fingers.
seeing that value from this breach. It's actually just messing with the brains of G2 and Valen. But in this round, Valen steps it up huge with his mechanics, getting trades onto the site.
Oh, and also Leaf getting the 2 openers on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Created that window for them to be able to strike. It was very nicely done.
I have to point out, though, that even though Leaf got 2 kills on the C side of the map, Rians didn't take the bait, and he was doubling back and forth, seeing if there was going to be a lurk at A. So the prep for Heretics right now has been really good on this map, and that's a part of the prep. They understand that when Leaf likes to go for these C lurk plays, he jump spots it. He does this a lot in North American Valorant.
They have crosshairs trained all over G2 right now. Fishy getting a second with the op. And now G2 forced to reach deep into that playbook. See what else they can find. The 5v2 here are going to have to do with the trips to Op is somehow rotated back.
Cage triggered.
With another opportunity to deal damage.
It's definitely not something that you see every day, you know, Cypher with the operator, but I mean, sometimes when things are so unconventional like that, you can get immense value from them. And this should just be a save for G2. I mean, it's a 2v5 in this scenario.
Yeah, and the money's a little spotty too.
Yeah. And you're definitely going to see Rians
30
and
seconds
Patty
left.
Tech wanting to hunt, wanting to try to get these guns out because they're coming close to their ults. I mean, even if they die, they're only going to be 2 off of ult.
They spotted Jonah P, and you have to assume, well, now confirmed, Icy's close by.
Oh, they're totally pinched here.
Paranoia is not going to connect. They desperately need to hang on to these weapons as best as they can, trying to white knuckle their way into it and traded 1 for 1. 4 on the other side, and the weapons will not be saved.
It got scrappy there, but the job was done. And another eco. Or maybe a little bit of a scrappy buy now. What a shot. That was clean.
Even that high-low as they were staring down B.
He pre-fired that. That was so sick from Benji. And it's the initiators from the side of Heretics that are really coming up huge here for their team. Patty Tech sitting at 10, Rian sitting at 9.
1 round separating these 2 teams, and 2 rifles in the hands of the attack. Meanwhile, for Heretics, guns, utility aplenty.
Who has been playing this A side of the map so good, especially when he's alone in solo. I mean, we saw him bait out a rocket in one of those previous rounds and not die, and then his team comes back for the retake and they win it. This time, he's alone again, but he knows his timing's down packed. He knows that when there's nothing being shown at C or front B, that there's probably players creeping up. He's so wise to back up there. Oh, I feel like Icy may have just slipped the net. That Prowler didn't connect.
Possibly. G2 are back to their misdirecting ways. The jump spot A caused rotations back over, and then they went back C and cleared the trip. Or the cam, excuse me, but Leaf will fall anyway. The paranoia in his face, and he connects with 2. It's another slaughter. Icy again left alone in the face of a 1v5.
30 seconds left.
These last couple of rounds have been so dominant on the side of the defense.
And this is really unfamiliar territory for G2 and Icy himself. Usually he's not the one that's last alive in a lot of these rounds when G2 plays. But he's having such a good map so far.
10 seconds left.
I mean, look, he's baiting out op shots left and right. He's doing all he can in these moments. But it's all for broke. And Benji Fishy with another huge round with that Cypher operator.
Yeah, he gets his 1 right here, and then when the paranoia connects, he collapses. That's brutal.
Yeah.
1 enemy
And
remaining.
Heretics right now are a step ahead of G2. They know that when they take that A default space early on and they're not pressuring anything, they like to commit to like a B split. And that's why you saw Rians there holding the fault line out, trying to hit that broken door area. This time he just needs to go front B after Benji gets those kills, but...
Face your fear!
Nightfall goes out, and the Prowler will follow. Heretics here close by. 3 members on the site, the other 2 quick on the rotate. G2 have found a lot of space here, but they're not comfortable.
You're going to see that breach C's potentially delay the bomb just inevitably. Yeah, the nade delays. Now it's going to be the breach C's, and now they're going to flood in. This is so beautiful from Heretics.
The satchel, the omen, he's gotten on top of them!
Spike down.
Heretics once again!
1 enemy remaining.
Just obliterating G2! These retakes have been so overwhelming. They've been so smothering.
The layers of utility is so insane, and it's too much. G2 are not able to weather the storm there. They did a really good job of tapping the bomb, baiting that raised nade out. But then the flood and these cages that Benji Fishy held onto to allow Woot to just fly over and be uncontested there. I mean, he has breach flashes setting him up. On top of that, he's able to duck on somebody.
Just made it look easy. The last round of the half will not have a great buy for G2, and now you've got to deal with Odin spam on the other side and an eye to set everything up. Wasn't able to connect and find a kill with it.
These fault lines, Doug.
They're so miserable to play against. Oh, he does get a kill with the rocket, but there it is. Now Rolling Thunder invested. Icy's ahead of it. 64 HP, now they've got the Nightfall again. I feel like he just had that up.
Yeah. There's so much utility.
The decay, the flash, the spam, they're all dead. An 8-4 half the way of Team Heretics.
And it felt so fast. It was like a blink of an eye, and this half is already over. I mean, G2 did a really good job of manipulating rotations in the early round, but Heretics are putting such a pace on them with these retakes. They're already positioned with all the delay to just flood in.
They're forcing them into uncomfortable positions, and then you're right, just when they think they have a window they can settle into, they get pounced on. 4 rounds to close out the half. An unbelievable performance from Heretics so far.
And Trent right now,
he's had a rough half. We're actually going to pop over to the Omen player moment and take a listen to Valen and see what he has to say here at halftime.
What's up guys, I'm Valen and I'm the in-game leader for G2Esports. First win obviously feels great on the international stage, and it's very relief feeling because that was one of the hardest matches I feel like I've played in a long time. They were kind of mechanically diffing us most of the game, and for us to be able to close that and actually win, even with, I would say, mid performances from most of us, except Leaf was obviously incredible today, but I know we can perform way better, and we still won today, so it feels good.
He's already used here in this series, but I mean, Hunter's Fury, instead of trying to set up a Trent, but Leaf is just killing everyone. 3 more, does he get the 4th? Of course he does. He is unstoppable. Saya tries to go for the challenge, but he cannot.
I mean, we just have a great dynamic on the team, so it helps make my life easy, and regardless of the situation at hand, we're able to kind of bounce back. I would say, honestly, this hasn't always been our identity. I think the turning point for us was our regional game versus Loud to qualify for playoffs. We got dominated, and vibes, in all honesty, were terrible. People were just mad nervous, couldn't bounce back from anything. And so this match just proved that we can do a complete 180 even on a bigger scale. So it gives me a lot of confidence going into these next matches that we're gonna be able to close them out even cleaner. And once we hit that playoff stage, man, we're gonna be locked in, and I just can't wait for that.
There's a need for them to be locked in. You heard Valen there talking about it. The leader for G2, he finds himself down 4 rounds. Maybe the defensive side will have a little bit more to contribute. And yeah, we've got to mention it very quickly. We talked about it at the end of that last half. Trent has struggled, currently sitting at 0-12 against a team like Heretics that rides momentum so well that really just seems to pounce on any moment of weakness that's shown.
Yeah.
They're going to smother that.
And just that one door tap alone from Boo, it keeps all 4 players of G2 here. And this contact here as well. And that allows Heretics to already be leaned towards the C side. And they're just going to explode on Leaf.
He has some util set up here. Armor and a classic. Plenty spotted. We'll dodge the fault line. Pop his nano, but that's really all he can do.
Yeah.
He does his damnedest, but that's it.
And the rotations are not quite here yet for G2, so this should be a 5-on-5 post plant versus retake.
Spike planted.
The Roomba has been cleared. Remember, it's just 2 ghosts.
Yeah, and there's no util for Heretics right now, so it's just game.
We're 1-for-1 here. G2 really having a hard time trying to control this. But they continue to push forward, and finally we're starting to see the tides turn. Trent and Johnny both so weak though. I mean, a funny look drops them both.
One enemy
The spam's
remaining.
coming through, Trent will fall. Johnny with 15 HP decides he tries to take the fight to Heretics, and There's not much more he can do.
Heretics, the mechanics are on point. In that post plant, they understood they had no utility, so they had to play a little bit more up, maybe try to bait out some of the utility close up and then fall back and ultimately play that mound area. And at that point, you just spam. Hope that your teammates did enough chip damage. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, they did it beautifully.
And the trades in the beginning were in the favor of G2 when it came down to the actual site hit.
They're pouncing again, Dre. This feels like this one's getting out of hand.
They're not allowing G2 to breathe at all.
Leaf, the only one with upgraded weaponry, or Marshall towards C. And again, this annoying tap at the door.
Yeah.
They're doing such a good job of just, I mean, smothering and introducing doubt into G2.
And they're also setting up the future halves. Heretic love to do this with their defaults. And that's a huge kill from Benji Fishy. And G2 at this moment, they're gonna have to just hold their setup and just gamble that they're gonna commit, but Benji's gonna get all the info and call his team back. There's no need for Heretics to proceed here.
It certainly would be safer to rotate away. And it seems like that's what they're gonna try to do. Round falls to the hands of the Outlaw. You already see the rotation starting to come back from G2.
I mean, it's just good fundamental play, Doug.
Yeah, the one thing though is, I mean, G2's ahead of this. The one benefit that Heretics have here is that Benji's already on site. And they have superior weaponry, of course.
Yeah. This nade could be really massive.
Holds it. I thought he was going to strike a little bit sooner. He was waiting for the suck.
One enemy remaining.
But it's still just not enough. G2 will go down in this round with a whimper as Heretics get to 10.
A really good anti-eco, just fundamentally sound gameplay right now from Heretics. They show the same A default as they showed on the pistol round. They tap the door the same way. They cut noise. That allows Benji Fishy to see what's going on at C. And then once he gets that kill, he's just a human drone and he's able to call his team back. And yeah, G2 were kind of ahead of that. But the problem is he could have been anywhere. He could have been pushed up in spawn.
True.
He could have been pushed up in water, maybe even on B. So G2 had to take so much time to re-clear that space, and looks like it's going to be a fight for A control here from both sides.
This has the opportunity of getting messy. Boo takes a fair amount of damage. The Paranoia and the Dog come out as kills are traded 1-for-1, but Trent finally getting on the scoreboard and doing so in a massive way.
Needing to step up big. Needing to just get on the board, honestly, get some confidence going for himself. And he did just that.
Nade soars by.
Player standing.
Wood falls. And Patatek can't be too far off.
He's been really good, though, so far, Doug. 14-5 right now.
Yeah, but Spectre good in a 1v4. Not that good.
Yeah.
Big round from G2 to avoid the bonus, to keep this thing close. And the truth is, Heretics, I mean, the bonus buy wasn't great. It was 2 rifles, if I'm not mistaken, an Outlaw, and then the 2 Spectres. So
yeah,
tough for them to really be able to convert. But again, for G2, you still have to execute it, and they did.
But with that being said, Heretics get to see how G2 like to fight A when they do that.
Yeah.
And that fault line going towards that slant area, like right in front of that broken door, I mean, that could be crucial in taking this space, because we saw all the players of G2 kind of flooding to just be in that area and take gunfights that way. And this is what you see right now. You see Rians just holding that fault line out.
Icy consistently tucks in that spot that you were mentioning, and they're wise to it. They invest the Dog to suss him out. So he has to satchel out and give the space up.
But all that utility being thrown and shown allows Heretics to just lean away again. And the conditioning once more, they've shown this so many rounds. Tapping the door like that. Does G2 read into this and understand that it's fake? They need to re-clear this A and get the info so they can lean.
That was a big cue right there. Leaf seeing the Dog come out certainly helps. And so Heretics now pivoting back. A swing of the pendulum back towards A, where Boo is taking a little bit of space, contacting his way. further and further towards A.
Going up.
The wall goes up and Heretics forced to try to find a way past it. The satchel, the eye, Jonah P, crispy with it. A second
30
falls.
seconds left. Last player standing.
Boo with much to do there. Can't really make it happen.
Couldn't quite get it out, huh?
Found a little bit of space here. A tap to bait the swing. Rians goes forward. Jonah P with 3 and G2 up to 6.
Yeah, Leaf had a huge start to that round for G2. And getting up numbers just ultimately allowed G2 to paint a better picture of what Heretics wanted to do. And of course, you know, cosmetic stun right here. Go figure. But still, great crosshair placement from Jonah P.
Yeah, 1000%.
So once more, we're going to see Leaf on the Outlaw going up against Ecos. Already building up towards a KJ ult.
Oh, this time he's not playing C. Like we've seen the last couple of times. Unfortunate for him too, because they were prepared for it. They had the fault line, they had the fade eye. There's so many smokes they're gonna have to get through. Just see a refresher, and then their nanos just on the other side. Leaf not able to land the first shot. Alarm bot goes down, forcing a stalemate.
Yeah, I mean, good job from Heretics to bait out that Killjoy utility on that C side of the map. I mean, maybe now if they want to go back A, push Icy and Trent off of these lines, they might have an opportunity for Benji Fishy to get a lurk through C. That's why you're seeing them leave him here on this mound area of the map.
Yeah, try to catch a timing like he did a couple of rounds ago where he's so far up. As soon as that wall goes down, whew, I don't think either of them saw them. Now the dog confirming some presence. Remember, they don't really have much for guns here.
Yeah.
They invest the fault line. They dump util back onto the site. No ults on the side of G2 to speak of. Jonah P 1 point away, but that's really it.
Spike planted.
Still a lot of good utility for G2 for this retake.
Oh, and the guns certainly help. This has the potential to get messy, though. They must be careful. Woo.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was messy for sure. But the gun advantage is just too much. And I like that idea from the side of G2. I mean, they're cycling utility on C. It's very standard, right? Getting the wall up on A, Trent trying to get some spam through the wall, and then Icy just giving up that site. He's been so good on this map so far. I'm so impressed with him. I mean, from the start of the season that he's had, joining this team
to now,
late, and to being on an international stage, doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, the kid has shown a ton of poise.
That causes a timeout for the side of Team Heretics. And G2 have a good understanding of how they want to play these retake scenarios. Icy knows that, why not? Just give up the entire A site there. Let them use all their utility to take it, and then you have the advantage in the retake, because not only do you have gun advantage, but you have util advantage on top of that.
Right, right.
When you're running a breach comp, you kind of have to use the utility to get in.
Yeah.
You can't really hold on to it much. And with the way Rians has been playing this map so far, he's been using a lot of it, just piece after piece after piece, layering it.
3 rounds of difference maker in this opening map of best of 3 with playoffs on the line.
And I wonder now if we're just going to see a full commit after this A default from Heretics, because a lot of these rounds, other than the anti-eco round, they've been taking that A space, they've been tapping the door and just leaving, going back towards C, where Leaf has been having a deep line. So I wonder if maybe now they just decide to do a full commit into that tree area, you know, with that fault line, and maybe breach ult the site.
And maybe Boo with a TP or something like that. It explains why they invested the timeout. Woot's also 1 away from having his ult. And an op in the hands of Leaf. Oh, and he's going to be playing A.
He's going to face them right here.
Off of the tap of the orb. With Woot 1 away from ult. A tap of the orb. A spam through the wall.
G2 have been opening this door up, but it's been riflers. Are Heretics going to be ready for this operator?
He's going to be given a sliver. Oh.
Wise. Heretics should have a good idea now that this is a retake, potentially, and Leaf almost gets his head taken clean off.
A narrow miss.
Yeah.
This is a really nice exec, and if they can do all of this without having to invest Riot's ult, this post plan is going to get so much stronger.
Spike planted.
Once this trip breaks, you're going to see Heretics wanting to push up towards spawn with that breach ult potentially. You already see them positioning for it.
Yeah, the problem is they don't really know how many are on the other side. Only one gun has been fired, only one set of utility has been seen, now seeing 3. So they know this is where the majority of the ult is coming from. That forces the Rolling Thunder to go back spawn, and now G2 have an opportunity to push in from their defensive side, but the first already falls. Wood on the swing. And an Omen smoke keeping him back. The spike has been ticking for a couple of seconds now.
Oh, it's too hard.
Yeah, I don't think G2 have a timing in. That's so well done by Heretics.
Dream Seer. My ult is ready.
The breach utility is so good from Rians. I mean, he's just guaranteeing somebody being hit almost every single round by a fault line, by a seize, the flashes. I mean, this guy's doing it all. He's got a triple-double to his name right now.
And that's what we were talking about at the beginning, right? If they can get through that exec and he still keeps the ult, that secures it.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did. Also, the comms in that instance, for them to be that crispy and that clean, it's really impressive because, again, as soon as those 3 pieces of ult util came out, they understood where the retake was coming from. That's a snap decision right there from Rians.
Yep, and it's going to be this A brawl from both sides. Who will come out on top here? Icy's so low.
Icy's dead. Oh, but Jonah P strikes back.
What an animal.
The way of the defense. But it's traded back, of course it is.
I have the spot.
This series wouldn't suggest otherwise. Leaf trying to dance in and out of the door, trying to provide a little bit of cover for Trent. And it's Boo who falls with ult and spike. He will get away.
And we can just take a breath right now. Boo has a little bit of time to consider how he wants to play this 1v2.
He doesn't have that much time. They're already here. Spotting one, potentially both. Boo takes a step back. Giving position away, not once, but twice. And now they invest the lockdown to secure the round. Leaf lands a shot. And that's another for G2.
What a fight. Leaf actually coming up huge in that moment, protecting Trent, who was stuck. So much of Patatek's utility was hitting Trent in that moment, but Leaf just jiggling, constantly pre-firing, tagging up Patatek so he can't push all the way up. Good teamwork and good trading from G2. And Jonah P, you mentioned it. I mean, this guy was an animal in this round. It was looking like disaster for the side of G2 up until that moment. Heretics countered the rollout of Icy.
The guy had nowhere to go. Speaking of Icy, op in hand. And a PK. They're not going to put that wall up, but the smoke will counter it.
Yeah. And with that, Icy just doesn't want to sit there behind a smoke. Opts to rotate. Let Valen hold it. Let a rifler hold behind that smoke. Why not? And both raises have Showstopper online.
It's going to be chaotic. I believe it tagged just one. The Nightfall did. Now a second use. And both rockets up and online. The chaos ensues as Wu gets 2. Posted up backside to get a 3-year third. Not able to get the 4th as Leaf is there on the trade. Numbers the way of the attack. The spike planted. And options limited for G2.
And it almost feels like you kind of have to go for this. You do have money for the next round, but if you lose this round, Heretics is on match point.
Can he try to scoop up the op, maybe?
Yeah, he wants to.
Yeah, that's possibly the best he can do. He's gonna challenge it. He's grabbed it.
Yoink.
He's getting away with it. And he's gonna survive.
No, he's actually hunting.
Leaf should be able to pick that op back up. Oh, where'd it go?
Where is it?
He didn't get it.
I can hold an area pretty well myself. Make sure to cover the
Heartbreak for
angles
G2. And Heretics in these post-plant scenarios.
Wow.
Yeah, they just take the fight to G2. I mean, again, the layering of the utility. If you give all the space, They have an answer for it. So hard to play against this Heretics team with how they're playing the map so far.
They've been so impressive this tournament. I know it's early, but they look really freaking good, man.
And it's not the Woot show that it was yesterday. I mean, this is the Initiator show. It's so impressive.
Honestly, it feels like a complete effort. We've talked about Patty and Rienz a lot, but Benji Fishy's had his big moments. Woot's not, you know, double, triple positive or anything like that, but he's having massive impact as well.
Yeah, so explosive at the end there.
Yeah.
Even that last shot, you know, after he gets those rocket kills. Yeah. So snappy with it. And you're totally right. It has been a full unit doing things together. I mean, even Boo on that defensive side, he had so much value living. Just the mere fact of not dying gave his team so much value on that defensive side. That being said, Jonah P will have the Viper's Pit online and potentially invest it right away onto the C. Maybe try to funnel Heretics into going A or B.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see what the call is. There was a timeout in between this. Now we're potentially faced with the last round of the map. Jonah P choosing to hold on to the ult for now. Icy's inserted, now Pit invested. How do Heretics respond to this?
And I think G2, they want to try to fight Heretics as they're running up lane here with this Omen Flash. You're going to see the Viper Wall potentially come up and then isolate just the straight fights in the lane.
What's the contact here? The alarm bot?
Yeah.
As soon as the alarm bot goes off, the panel goes down.
Exactly.
Paranoia goes out.
But this is a new look from Heretics, Doug.
Oh, they thought they set the trap, and they did!
Spike down.
It looked like Heretics were ready for it. But G2 strike. Benji Fishy's gotten out onto the site, but he's alone, B. Getting a fadeaway kill onto Valen. Looking for a second on Jonah P and will connect.
Last player
Oh, what a tragic way for this to go. But Benji Fishy still with a fighting chance. He's got to scoop up the spike. Or just frag his way through. Icy's weak, Trent is not, but remember, he has struggled this map. He will connect here, and we will play at least another round.
And another good round for Icy, holding it down. The spray down, once that door breaks, he dodged the breach fault line.
See if we get another look at that again.
I was low key hoping he would pop the two-piece. His line was good too though. Like he almost lined him up. That was actually really good.
About the alarm bot potentially being contact. No, it was the fault line that triggered everything.
Yeah.
The buy for Heretics, not great here. Two sheriffs.
Yet another A default from Heretics. But once they sniff out this Killjoy utility, they're going to have an understanding that potentially he's alone. And we've seen how deadly Heretics are. Leaf can't go anywhere.
He's got nowhere to go. Somehow manages to dodge all of it without taking a single lick of damage. Meanwhile, again, a gunfight at the door.
There.
And an advantage the way of Heretics. They've upgraded weapons. Trent jumped his way out into his death. Patatek with 2.
Bring them down.
And Jonah P in a 1v4.
I cannot believe this is the way that this has all happened.
Unless he can pull off a miracle.
It would have to be clinical.
He's got to isolate here on the first. He knows there's at least one close by, 10 HP left, and that triggers the fault line. There's nowhere for Jonah P to go. In the face of an attempt at a comeback, Heretics hold strong.
And who else to close out the map than Reigns? What a nice map from Heretics. G2 coming back, showing some resilience, but this is Heretics map pick for a reason.
A very impressive showing. We'll see what map 2 has on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Bind next.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Nice! Let's go! Nice! Nice! Go!
All right, nice. I freaking love it. All right, we need some bangers while this goes. But you wanna chat? How we feeling? If you're just tuning in, happy Saturday. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling good. We're kind of just waking up over here on my end. I'm like super dehydrated. It's been a long 2 days. So we're kind of just getting more fluids in us right now. Sleep schedule is about to be fucked up too. I mean, it's about to be effed up too, cause we have these, which are Shanghai is 12 hours. So like we're NA East. Our time zone, Shanghai and China's time zone is 12 hours difference. So for them right now it's 8 at night, or no, 8 in the morning, but the next day 24 hours. So yeah, ours is like in the morning. Sad, big old sad. Oh, I can show you, or no, actually that wouldn't be a good look if we did that during this Riot thing. We'll do it at the end though. The new skin? Oh baby. It's so good. That doesn't sit right with me. I never drink pop like before like afternoon. It goes down rough, man. At 8:30 in the morning. All right, chat. If you're still hanging out, yo, hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling good. Next map is Bind. Team Heretics are up 1-0. Let's get it.
Team Heretics, they continue their winning ways here in Masters Shanghai. I'm now joined by their coach, Neozinho. Now, I think the biggest concern everybody had coming into this tournament is how you're going to maintain that synergy and chemistry you guys are so well known for. But after seeing that map, it feels like you have zero issues with the util, the suppressiveness of the util and the synergy. So what have you guys been doing to make sure that you maintain that level?
Yeah, so, I mean, we've not had as much practice time, like I've said before, but we put a lot of effort into kind of dry running the utility, make sure it's perfect over and over and over again. So even, you know, having one person coming in, it's not too big of a change. You just need to learn the lineups and stuff again. So, yeah, just hard work, repetition, the usual.
Well,
that's it.
All right, well, thank you very much, Neil, and best of luck on map 2.
Hard work and preparation is the name of the game, and that is a Team Heretics win on Lotus, and they look good doing it. An absolutely dominant defensive side. Everyone popped off. You basically couldn't have asked for a better start for Heretics. Really, I guess, proving to everyone, like, yeah, sure, you know, they made quick work of DRG, but the reality is this is a team that is a force to be reckoned with no matter what.
And I think that Nilzinho is so right in what he's saying. The defensive utility, the initiator's utility was so good on this map. Round after round, it was literally what was defining G2. Team Heretics getting those wins. Lotus defender map. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, they put together an incredible defensive side.
Yeah.
The biggest things that were looking great to me was their ideas for kind of re-clearing space in the mid-round with this breach and the trap plays they were setting up. But especially a couple of those later rounds on that defensive half is where that was especially shining. Here we're taking a look at one of those rounds. This was round number 9, where, you know, they have these really good setups where they're kind of pushing G2 away. So a lot of times G2 was ending up wanting to play towards these weaker sides. They were hitting into B, they were trying to kind of hit late into C after pulling out that util. But the guy shutting down these late setups was Benji Fishy, who was pulling out the op and just doing some nasty things.
Boxing them. Did you say that he was boxing them?
1v1 box fight? No, that wasn't a 1v1 box fight, but it might as well.
It was a 1v3.
1v3 box fight, actually, yeah.
Yeah, but time after time, Benji was having so much impact with this operator. Don't get me wrong, Leaf was trying to do the same, doing the same with the Outlaw in the second half. But man, what Benji and Patitek were able to achieve here, and what Rians was doing with every single piece of utility, not only setting his teammates up, but also himself. Even his ultimates, everything was so curated that, again, I think Neil hit the nail in the head with what he was saying. Just server time, just run the utility time and time again, make sure it's perfect, and make sure that everything has a good result, good outcome.
Yeah, and I think another thing that is really going to give people confidence in Team Heretics is they got this map win in dominant fashion when the MVP wasn't Woot. The DRG, it was about Woot. Today was about the teamwork, the coordination of the utility, and also Rians. When we're talking about young Turkish talent, there's not one of those players on this team. This Rians guy is ridiculous too. When I was watching him in EMEA, he so consistently is putting up massive performances, even when he's playing on these hyper supportive roles like the Breach. His util timing is really well done, but even as that guy kind of swinging into round 2nd or 3rd, he's super effective and is finding a ton of opportunities for individual prowess.
Yeah, and don't forget, the first time that we saw Rians on stage was in Madrid, and everybody was thinking, how is he going to perform in the international stage? And it was brutal for their opponents, right?
Hey, you forget about it, but he's also one of the rookies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're all young in Team Heretics.
Yeah.
They bet on the young talent, and he definitely paid off.
Yeah,
you're telling me about it too, right? Like Boo's like the one older guy on the team.
Yeah, that's actually very true. You know, he's covering for the boys there. All right, well, let's go ahead and see how Josh RT is going to try and bring this team back into the fray. We got Yinsu standing by.
I'm now joined by the coach of G2, Josh RT. Now, coming into the second map, I think it's a little bit surprising that you wanted to go to take Heretics to Bind, a map that they found a lot of success on in EMEA. Are you able to explain to me a little bit about why you guys made that decision?
It's one of those things where we're playing into our strengths. Although like they have an immaculate record on Bind, we have to keep in mind like they're playing with a sub. They might have to change a comp a little bit. So we're just relying on our strengths here to get this win.
Well, you guys are great when it comes to the anti-strat, so I can't wait to see it. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Bind is going to be the next map coming up here. And yeah, I mean, the question that I saw when I saw the Bind pick come through from G2 just made me wonder what they were going to do with this. What was the intention? So to hear Josh RT simply say, we're playing into our strengths, I am curious to see how that plays out for them, given, honestly, Team Heretics, it looked disgusting.
I'm a little surprised by that answer, because I feel like generally, when you're picking into a map like this, one of your opponent's strengths, you tend to really focus on like having a really strong game plan. Maybe he just didn't want to let on in the interview, but generally when G2, and they sometimes will make bolder picks like this, they tend to have that really strong kind of counter strat idea.
Yeah, like they're seeing something that maybe we're not.
I imagine that if they haven't, the reason they're doing so is A, the short turnaround from playing the other day, and B, the fact that they might have thought that this Team Heretics roster is going to change some of their comps and ideas with a sub.
I think that the bigger idea behind it is Team Heretics will not expect them to pick Bind onto them, right? It's not a map that they found a massive success in. Yes, their losses have been very, very close, but there are some things that still need to be improved. Plus, again, Yinsu was mentioning, you're very good at anti-stratting with G2, but what are you going to anti-strat here? Because there's so many variables. It could be literally the composition that they were running in EMEA later in the stage, but they can also go back to what they were doing when Heretics was back in the roster, playing with the KO instead of the Sky.
And again, that was anti-stratting that really got G2 here, getting a lot of those big upsets in America. But looking at these comps now, it looks like they're going to be going into this Sky Sova composition. We've seen them kind of play into the Sova on this map in the past in EMEA, and they're really one of the few teams, I think, staying away from this Gecko comp that G2's running that has become really prevalent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking forward to see if Heretics is going to maintain the level that we're seeing from him. On the same side, I want to look at Trent. You're mentioning the Gecko. I think that he's super strong, and you have very, very good set plays, and he didn't have a good first map.
Well, let's see how this plays out. You got Team Heretics up 1-0, but G2 needs to fight back to force that map 3. Let's send it back over to your casters. It's Doug and Baby Bay on the call.
Thank you so much, GB. This is an interesting one, Dre, because yes, it's a strength for Heretics, and Josh acknowledged that. He also said it was a strength of theirs on the side of G2, and obviously there's a lot more to be said than just what your record is on the map, but that is a pretty big part of the equation, and their record on the map is not great.
Yeah, not on this G2 roster, but the Guard in general, before they made it over to, partnerships, they were historically pretty good on a map like Bind. Valorant has a really good idea of how to call on this map. And yeah, their record might not show it, but they've looked great in other moments. So the fundamentals on this map are what carries them the most. But how do you play against an Omen? This is not something you see every day.
An Omen Sova,
yeah.
Less.
When was the last time you saw Sova on Bind?
Oddly enough, I feel like the last time I saw an Omen on Bind was Marved. Like way back in the day. But alas, G2 on the attack. The dog clearing up. Long pad attack. Taking a slight step back. He's gonna punish here, isn't he? Oh, the goof is so nice, but he somehow stays alive and gets 2. Everything was set up well. But you didn't account for pad attack.
He's been so good on these pistol rounds. It's not over yet, but I can't help but feel like this is
one enemy
It's
remaining.
pretty freaking close to over.
Yeah. Icy again.
Yep. And the last one alive.
And he has armor. They bought him this ghost.
Well, he's gotten one down. Still hasn't taken any damage. A tap of the spike, but he can't convert. There's too many things to overcome.
I mean, it was such a good start from G2. They waited out all the Omen utility, and this flash was perfect. But somehow pad attack just gets 2 while full blind, and nobody looking there. Valen, last second. It just doesn't connect.
That's so tough too, because sometimes we'll see when the Gecko Dizzy is flashing back.
Yeah, that was actually crazy because he was like,
that wasn't the case.
he couldn't even see, and he still popped him.
So good on these
That was
pistol
nuts.
rounds.
Yeah, he's been insane.
I mean, it's like he's almost always good for 2. So hard to play against a player like that.
And now they're reaping the benefits of his efforts.
I'm not sure if I agree with that wide swing from Jonah either. I mean, you're scanned by a dart, surely.
Perhaps feeling the need to force a play.
They're feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, it's tough to say. But G2 with their pistols, there's no real other choice but to go forward, attempt to do so. Trent's gonna get tapped. The spike is left back and long.
Yeah. And I mean, he got spammed through a smoke right there, just based off of that Gecko flash going over the top.
Yeah, the timing.
That was the cue.
Deploying drone.
A recollection of the spike. As the drone goes out, they're gonna get the money off of that.
Look at the utility.
Yeah, there's still just so much left to do here. And again, the weaponry is just not enough to put up a fight. So Heretics will get the second, and they'll do so in pretty clean fashion. Keep an eye on what this next bonus potentially will hold. A Guardian, and then 2 Spectres and a Marshal.
It was a flawless round. I mean, they got the picks early on. Jonah P getting caught out there, trying to catch that orb tap, potentially.
Dre,
gets punished.
They're investing into this a little bit here. A judge for Boo.
Oh, this could be disaster. And Woot is actually saving for an operator already. He's sitting at 3.6 thousand.
Well, what's tough, too, is he didn't take any damage, so he doesn't even have to buy armor into this round.
And a Marshall on this map, I mean, it could do so much, just getting those tags.
He's going to have a shot at it as he's playing down long. The flash first to move.
That orb gathered will give G2 the information that the Raze is holding towards this octagon area. And that's why you see Leaf kind of creeping up on short A.
Benji Fishy will fall. That bonus success seeming less and less likely. Trent's having to deal and reckon with the challenge at his re-ends. The absolute freak of nature that he was in the previous map seems to continue as he gets the best of Leaf with the Spectre.
And I think Leaf expected some help there from Trent, but he kind of just left him alone on an island.
A second flash out and the flank coming through. Woot will fall as G2 push forward. A judge in 1v4 is not a great position to be in.
Oh, he gets an upgrade.
Icy's going to be the first to spot him.
Any damage is good here for Boo.
He's going to get away. Oh. That was a little messy, but yeah, he is going to get away. He gets a kill onto Icy as well.
Really good round off the back of Leaf there, creeping up on short A. As his team pressured all that B area of the map. You know, B long, hookah. Once he gets that kill, it opens up the entire site, and Dizzy's allowed to get that bomb down. The big difference in composition here is we have a Gecko on one side, a Sova on the other. And the Gecko allows you to do things like, you know, plant the bomb and fight at the same time. But Woot has that operator online, sitting on top truck.
There's a little bit of challenge this way. Icy going forward. And Heretics just showing so much respect. The potential of a cruncher too as Trent falls. The dog comes out, the rocket's not gonna find any value. I mean, this is such a great response from Heretics.
Wow.
They bend a little bit, but they don't break.
I got the
Happy to give up the space, happy to deal with the rocket in their face, but they stay alive and then they strike back.
And now it's just discipline. The name of the game, waiting for the rotations to come in. Boo is able to throw smokes from across the map. We're seeing the value of the Omen.
toxin screen down.
There where Brim is a little bit more limited by space. Boo just so close to Leaf here. What's the call? A hard freeze to suggest a flip? And they're gonna TP back, but I don't think they know that Boo's here. I don't think they know that Boo's this close.
Cover going out.
Leaf is slowly creeping out, but he missed his timing. He gets taken out, and that should be the end of the round and a save for G2. That operator from Woot, that save, bearing fruit. I mean, he gets that kill, gets the rocket online, and then off of the tap. I
10
mean,
seconds
he
left.
has his own little showstopper. G2 have been doing a lot of these plays where off of early contact and Icy's rocket, they try to like catch somebody out in the choke. But Heretics, they're too smart. Oh, what a shot that was.
Yeah, they're super smart, and also their guys frag.
Yeah.
Those Ninos are the truth, bro.
Yeah,
they look so good.
They're really good. But I also think we're seeing a lot of uncharacteristic things from, I mean, a lot of the members other than Icy on this team of G2. I mean, Trent has had a really rough series so far. And he's just been kind of unlucky in some of the moments as well. That's a high one-way on purpose from Boo to give the op line. That is so cool. The micro things, the mind games.
One way
G2 read into it.
Yeah, you're right. They read right into it, and the dog out. They have a really good idea that he's here. TP's to some attempt at safety, but there are people on the other side of this. There's a little bit of help from Rians, but he doesn't swing at the right time.
And that's the G2 we know. That's a really good punish and a start to the round. But they're still so spread out.
Oh, and they weren't expecting pad attack there. As soon as they get an advantage, Heretics strike back.
Look at these one-ways. They're stopped dead in their tracks.
That's another benefit that Omen offers you. Right? You don't have that same flexibility with the Brim.
Yeah. Thrash should get online here after Trent plants with Dizzy, with Little Bro.
P forcing to make a play, striking right out of the smoke onto Boo.
Much needed.
3 members on the other side. A little bit of spam to tag. But they make their way out, and now Thrash invested. Heretics having to wait this one out.
Oh.
And now the utility game starts.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of space around the site, but time is short, and Jonah P is patient.
Yeah, they played this post plant to a T, it feels like. As I say that, Benji takes the head off of Balin.
You gotta be careful here. It's just a tap.
There's no time.
Yeah, there's no time.
Just going for damage now.
Yeah, trying to keep them around and die to the spike.
A good comeback into the round for G2. I thought it was gonna be another scenario like the last, where they're down numbers, but Jonah P taking things into his own hands, pushing that CT smoke, finding the timing, and Rians, he's shocking the smoke there to try to thwart anybody from making a play like that, because Boo was isolated. But Jonah, he was too healthy to be bothered by a single shock dart. And that's why you hear the laughs.
Got his ass.
It's good to know the vibes are still high.
And that's the G2 we know on this map. Once they get the bomb down, they cycle the utility, they drain the clock down, and then they play together. Man, these Omen one-ways are so annoying to play against. You have to use utility to clear them. If you don't, there might be an op behind it, there might be a rifler there. A really, really slow default from G2. No space gathered. It's been 40 seconds. I mean, look at that one-way. How many one-ways does this guy have? He's shown me like 2 new one-ways. That one in close octagon, this one in hookah. I've never seen that. And he's just cycling them.
This high one?
Yeah, this high one is... I don't know if it's on purpose or what this time around.
They're trying to crunch sand. Jonah P's close by as Patatek gives some of the space back. Oh, that flash is going to be disastrous. Doesn't swing though, doesn't challenge. Boo's there to hold the line over his shoulder. If they try to flip back A, they don't have any info. But they're going to try anyway.
It is the right call.
They just have to be careful.
Yeah.
Rians here, 2 shocks. The spam through. Little man doesn't fall, but Leaf does.
Standing ahead.
And Trent is sitting low right now. Oh, he's regaining some of his HP.
Patatek investing his ult. Rians with the potential to do it as well. Trent taking so much damage. Now both ults used. It's really awkward now, 2v3. Jonah P with 3. And Rians with no choice but to take a step back.
Jonah P is playing at another level right now these last 2 rounds. He's had so much impact. Getting the trades. I mean, even the entries. And then in the post plant. I mean, the last round, he just lived there in elbow that entire time on B site. This time, sitting on the top box of short A. Taking the head clean off of some player's back sight. That allows him to get the Seekers online. Right now, G2, their whole game plan is playing a slow default. And then waiting for the mistakes of Heretics. And that push through the TP was a mistake. Benji was stuck there the entire round.
Yeah, he couldn't play the game.
Yep. Once that TP goes through from the side of G2, I mean, there's 2 players geared and waiting for Benji Fishy.
From got his ass to 6-2. Jonah P looking really nice for G2 right now.
Seriously.
There was an attempt at a trap, A short from Heretics. There was a dart, aggressive push up and a smoke on the other side, but there was no one there to receive it.
Yeah, I don't think Valorant saw the smoke either. But they still have an idea because of that dart, like you said. And that's why you see them all leaning towards that B site. Leaf is so wary about that lurk.
They've gotten past the one-way. That nade's not going to feel good. It's traded 1 for 1. There's still 1 rifle in the hands of Heretics, but it's on the opposite side of the map.
That's bomb.
Yeah, but they still have so much advantage here, surely, unless Patatek can be a hero once more. Only 1 target found. Can Benji Fishy upgrade a weapon? I don't think there's anything on the way.
Spike planted.
And Rians is so slowly making his way over.
Does have a Phantom to his name, though. And it looks like they will be going for this retake.
A lot to do for Rians here. If Benji can find 1, that's certainly going to help, but a 1v2. Oh, he's gone into 1! Fallon playing tight left. Put in his way, and Rians looked like he was going to land the shot, but the leader for G2 saves the round.
For a second there, I thought he was in the Matrix, just jumping over all the shots of Valen. But yeah, he recovered the spray there. And that'll cause a timeout for Team Heretics. And right now, the name of the game for G2 has just been waiting for the mistakes of Heretics. In this round, they understand that it's a scrappy buy for Heretics. Icy, heads up play to step back there, dodge all the utility, get the trade onto his counterpart of Woot. And then just secure the round win like that. I mean, it got scrappy for sure. But right now, G2 look like they're in the driver's seat. They look like they're controlling the pace of the game.
And it's gotten them to a lead, and as you mentioned, it's gotten them to the timeout as well. You wonder here what more Heretics have prepared and cooked up with this crazy comp that, you know, Americas doesn't see very often, if ever.
Yeah, and normally they run an even crazier comp of a Yoru when they have Miniboo.
This is somehow more vanilla.
Yeah, right? Just a little bit. That being said, we're going to be going into round 8. And there's a lot of good ults online for the side of G2. If they can get onto a site, I mean, it's going to be near impossible for a retake to happen, or at least it should be. But with the way things have been going with Heretics, I mean, they're making the chaos and the scrap to their favor. I mean, sometimes they just steal things away, and Woot will have that operator. We saw how impactful he was the first time around he had it. But we're just going to see another very, very slow default from the side of G2. Try to get info on where this operator could be. I think they have a good idea that there could be one in play.
Flash in the Dizzy.
Ah, but it was a team flash.
Yeah, but a little bit of space was still found, but they don't take it. I thought they were going to try to creep up a little bit closer and play out a hookah.
And I mean, we just saw a Sky and a Gecko around hookah, and now you're seeing a Raze and Shower. I mean, this has got to be all red flags for Heretics. Why is the Raze sitting on this side of the map, not with the initiator utility? And that's why no one's moving. G2 can play into that as well.
Poison orb emitting.
Roomba to set up Leaf in the Shower area.
Poison's off.
And this is all a feint right now. Jonah P is going to try to fake the B hit from long, and they're going to split A.
A little bit of reinforcements coming into the TP. Valen has his ult online. Rians will fall, and there it is. U-Haul will be cleared. There's no one there. The pit invested on the site. Benji Fishy will fall as Icy with high ground, not able to connect onto the first shot. Patty's been playing in this pit this entire time. A preposterous position as the pit goes down. Number still in the way of the attack. Jonah P holding Showers. Boo's gonna have to 1v3 to pull this off, and he just can't.
Really good macro play from G2 right now. Feinting the Sky utility at B, keeping 2 players there, and then the TP with the split. Icy has been so good at holding these angles and killing the players of Heretics who are swinging in, trying to disrupt the actual hits. And then that's where you see the Breach all come out, the Viper's Pit, to make it nearly impossible to retake. A great conversion off of the ultimates being used for G2.
On the other side of a timeout as well.
By the way, Jonah P is close to another ult, and Icy as well. And this time, a convincing A split off the rip. Trying to punish anybody here, any bad guns.
There was an attempt at a punish there from Woot.
Oh, how does Leaf go down?
He just got overwhelmed.
Spike planted. Thanks, Wings.
But the Gecko is deeming to be a problem right now. That extra body.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, it's just, it looks so fundamental right now for G2. And then that happens.
Well,
and that.
The fundies don't matter if you get shot in the face.
Yeah.
Poison's on.
Still so much utility.
Yeah, he's just baiting the swing.
Yeah, and there's still another flash for Jonah as well. I mean, I've seen Benji do ridiculous things, but the way that G2 are playing this post-plant scenario.
One enemy remaining.
There's just not enough time.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, was damage done. Wait a second.
Nah, no time at all.
He got his.
Yeah, he did.
He got his. But G2 again, man, they look good.
Full control, my friend.
Yep. Well, maybe not full at the end there. Benji Fisher took a lot of control out of their hands.
Yeah. But still, just even Valen just understanding that, okay, it's my turn to go.
Yeah.
And we're securing the round win no matter what. I'm going to throw my body at him, make sure he gets off the bomb. He's going to have no time. You can clean him up for sure. Guaranteed. If he tries to stick it, it's GG. And that's with no ults invested. And now, look, another snowball round, a potential snowball round. Gecko ult, Raze ult, the Seekers. I mean, they could be explosive again. Run it back.
The Dogs should have gotten a lot of info showers too here, and now the Rocket online. They know they want to crunch towards it, and it's going to succeed. Wood will fall. Boo on the reposition, and Rians has gotten back sight. He tries to tuck into the smoke, but he just finds passage into the next round.
A dismantling of the defense. Valen is calling such a good attack side right now. It's not over yet, though. We've seen more ridiculous things happen before in this tournament.
They have a couple of ults to play around. The question is, do they choose to invest? The snap onto Valen is good. The tap is there, but there's still much to be done.
One enemy remaining.
It's all on Rians now. And again, with the spike being planted, it's borderline insurmountable. The spam onto the first is certainly going to help things. But time is just not on his side. So G2 will get to 7, and as Josh said, this is one of their strengths, and we see why.
Yeah, Valen right now calling such a good map. The back-to-back A-split call. I mean, if you're Heretics right now, you kind of have to read into the fact that when G2 have all these ults online, they tend to go A with them because they're just powerful to do it.
You just ran it down at the bomb, bro. What a menace.
I mean, it did kind of seem that way, didn't
it? Yeah, I mean, he did. Not wrong about that one. Trent still sitting on that Thrash. And now you're seeing the disrespect now. Confidence in the hands of G2. Trent sneaking by that one way. It's the first time we've seen G2 even peek this one way off the start of a round.
Refreshed. Trent on the swing and Pat attack on the snap. What?
Yeah, and Trent in these moments so far, he's been kind of hesitant on when he peaks. That little jiggle is his demise there. But Jonah P has been such a stable player for them so far.
How much more stability can he provide? Still alive in the round. G2 down numbers and now understanding where Leaf is.
The problem is this Viper's Pit is almost working against Heretics because it is keeping Rians here still. So it's actually in favor for G2, and they're gonna contact out. They have the man advantage right here. Boo has to go huge, but Icy saw his head.
And he took it clean off.
30 seconds left.
And now the follow-up with the dog. They're overwhelming Heretics. Jonah P is so clean.
Patatech needed to stay alive there, but wasn't able to do so. Meanwhile, Leaf looking for Rienz and will find him.
Planted.
Benji Fishy in a 1v3 with a Guardian in hand.
Another 1v3.
Yeah, and this one might feel like the most difficult of them all.
I mean, this one has slept. It's slipped away. It's completely slipped away for Team Heretics. Both teams
Last round
on both attack sides have had such a good game plan going into the matches.
There.
Yeah, you're right. He spotted him, pinged him out on the minimap, and then dropped him. And again, I want to mention the conversation that Josh had with Yinsu before this map started. It takes a lot of guts and a lot of trust in your team to pick a map that's your opposition's arguably strongest. 4-1. But they're having their way with them right now.
Yeah. And you know what? Playing to your strengths will never be a bad thing. And now, another change of pace. Trent still sitting on Thrash, but Jonah P with the operator. No one towards the B side of the map so far for Heretics. And that dog doesn't get
didn't look
any value.
Oh, it had to have looked. They had to have known. They somehow got above it. Woot still somehow alive. Finally falls. Valen holds strong, and now they're going to go, but they're going to have to get past this Hunter Fury.
It connects.
It's ripping him to shreds. But the spike is handed off.
Oh, Leaf's in here.
Plant, and Leaf is all the way up. Now Patatech and Boo to try to keep this thing alive. To try to salvage another round before the half ends. A 2v2. Trent on the swing. Boo and Patatech with so much space to gain. And time is of the essence. The flash first. Finds nothing. They have no idea where they are. Hello. Trent, surprise. He spotted them both. A reposition as the Dizzy goes up. A little ring around the rosy. Valen's trying to swing back around, and Valen with 3. G2 with 9, a dominant half.
They're playing together. They're getting the trades. They're playing way more disciplined than they did on the last map. They look great, Doug.
They look exceptional. We're going to take a look at it one more time. This fight in Showers really kind of secured things. Valen had a massive round, man.
Yeah. And then Leaf slipping the net right there. Beautiful.
It was perfect. During halftime of the first map, we had an opportunity to listen to an Omen player moment from Valen. Now we're going to get to do the same, but this time with Boo from Team Heretics. Take a listen.
Hello, this is Bo, and I'm playing for Team Heretics. It feels good to win the first game, obviously. It's a nice start for the tournament. Coming up to the game, we had a lot of struggles. Obviously, the scrim time was extremely low. There was a lot of stuff like with question mark, but that was not something we could control. So the way we looked at it is like, whatever happens, happens. We're just gonna do our best.
They're just so comfortable giving up this space. But this time, the Paranoid did not connect. However, Benji Fishy and Wood still do.
This kid.
Oh,
this kid!
My goodness.
I think since Madrid we did change a lot, even though you consider like we have different players in different roles, we're still the same team. And I think one of the biggest changes is our emotional state on the stage. I think in Madrid we were carried away a lot on both games. Like we had huge leads, which we threw away. We worked on that during EMEA, and now I think we have a healthy balance of like we're still getting hyped, like you see Benji standing up, like you see us screaming, but we reset real fast. We focus up, and like it's a clean slate, and then after the round we can celebrate again.
A sign there said, hope everyone have fun. And Heretics did on map 1, but it doesn't seem like they're having much fun here on Bind, a map that historically has been very good for them. It doesn't really seem like that's the case when you look at the timeline, when you look at how this map has gone, Dre. It's been G2 all the way.
Yeah, but a lot of their success on this map has been with that Yoru composition. So yeah, it's a mere change onto a Raze for Woot, who's more comfortable on that than the Yoru. And he's looked great on Raze so far, but it's a different animal when you're going against a drilled team like G2 on a map like Bind.
The attack side will have to tell a different story or else we're headed to split.
And this is so unique from G2. 2 initiators in spawn right now. And they're able to be here for this hit. This is going to be a flood for G2 potentially. Oh, they're waiting for the backside fight.
They know it's there. That or the timing didn't really allow him to get much further up. Rians is there to greet them. The shots from Tren a little unsteady, but the kill connects anyway.
Someone's there.
The flash out.
One enemy remaining.
And that too will fall.
That Gecko will force the issue onto that defuse, and Leaf will clean up the round.
A pistol that needed to go the way of Heretics falls on American soil.
And G2 read right into that. And yeah, Rians did all he could there. I mean, maybe he shouldn't have gotten both kills there. Oh, they lined up for him. But G2 were 2 steps ahead right there. They were waiting in spawn for that, and then they waited for the backside fight. They dodged the flash. He had the crossfire. And we're seeing the value of Gecko on a map like Bind so far. This is why Gecko has been in the meta.
He's been so prevalent.
Yeah, on attack, you can have an extra body to fight while there's somebody planting the bomb, the little wingman. In this case, I mean, Boo has to shoot the Dizzy there. And that opens up Leaf the opportunity to get free kills.
Icy with a Bulldog in hand, getting a little bit of info early on.
Yeah. But G2, they love playing this plant delay setup.
And they forced really hard into this.
Yeah.
They're going for broke. Again, the same fight in the same location. This time, different results though. In the face of the force, G2 holds strong. Yeah, Rians gets his one. That's all it'll be. 11-3 the way of G2.
So convincing right now. I mean, just no life for Heretics.
Dude, they're smiling. The coaching staff is laughing in the middle of this. They're having a good time.
Yeah. A great game plan was put into effect from Josh and Valen. I mean, it's been easy breezy this entire time. I mean, the way Heretics started, I thought maybe this was going to slip out of hand for G2, but they brought it back. Now they're running with it.
And they're not slowing down.
Nah. And now this is an eco round to go on to match point for G2.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just like everything.
They went for broke on the previous round, and it just didn't go their way.
Slow round being played from the side of Heretics. I mean, there's not much you can really do in this scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a lot of room to work with in terms of conditioning and stuff like that.
Poison orb emitting.
That smoke will thwart Leaf off, yeah.
Yeah, he's just getting pushed off the angle.
But he's okay with that. He's got his own Viper orb to match there.
Right.
And you see, I mean, Heretics, they have to respect it.
Because who knows what's waiting on the other side, yeah.
The timings of the utility for G2 are really good right now. That wall will be in full effect once a hit comes in, if it does end up towards B. But I think this is going to be a similar round to how G2 did the Sky Flash onto the B site into a TP play. But G2 are willing to give up back sight. They don't care. They understand that there could be a player in U-Haul. And Valen needs to get off of that smoke. He might get timing here.
Yeah, to be careful. You play a dangerous game.
There's the reposition.
The paranoia didn't really seem to bother Icy at all. The nade's the one that's going to get the kill with 10 seconds left. They've gotten a little bit of space. At least on the site, they've gotten the kills they're looking for as well, but it hasn't been upgraded. Somehow another one landed.
One enemy remaining.
They're going to snatch this thing back?
Boo is ridiculous right now. These shots have been so crisp. And it's all down to Leaf here in a 1v4 with his favorite gun. He gets an upgrade though. Probably better for the situation.
And it's still not going to be enough. And yes, Heretics still have a long way to go, but a thrifty win like that, when you've got Boo tapping people with the Sheriff, that's the kind of round that can be a spark. That's the kind of round that can be a catalyst for something.
Yeah. And even if you don't win this map, let's say, you want to at least win as many rounds as you can, much like G2 did on Heretics map pick, so you can show that you still have some fight left into you and get some momentum on your side. Because if you just get rinsed by a team, I mean, going into that map 3, it's not going to be fun for you.
No, it's a terrible feeling to go into.
A very aggressive shower fight to get that showstopper online for Icy, who has been having such a good series so far.
14 and 12 currently for the Duelist, the newest addition to the squad.
Man.
He was faced with an abundance of questions about whether or not he fit at the beginning of his tenure. But on the international stage, has answered every single one so far.
He's been looking so comfortable every match he plays. A very slow approach from Heretics once again.
They're playing so far back, they're expecting the showers crunch, which makes sense given the flash, given the fact that they fought for it early and got the orb. I understand why.
Exactly. What a unique Viper orb on the attacking side.
Here.
It's on that default of sight.
I have the spike.
Spike scooped up.
I mean,
and a shimmy B.
G2 are so willing to just play a 2-1-2 with Icy leaning towards whichever site with all this utility and a showstopper. Once this hit comes in, you're gonna see the showstopper come out.
There it is. He has one satchel, gets out, doesn't connect. And Heretics are getting some of the kills that they need. Time is short though, again. They play such a dangerous game and now 10 seconds left. They have to somehow find a way to weather this. Balance left in a 1v2. Patatek and Woot to keep him back. The swing is there, but it won't connect. Heretics get another.
And the sheriffs right now for Heretics are hitting, Doug. It's been probably the best thing we've seen them do on this map. I mean, the previous round was Boo. This time, Rians.
My ult is ready.
Clean shots, so precise. Oh my gosh.
Almost snapped onto the third too.
Yeah, and the quick switch
Yeah.
sheriff shot. It's not something you see every day, but he only had one in the chamber there. And now all of a sudden, ults are coming online for Team Heretics. And an eco round for G2. A potential snowball to bring it back a little bit.
Boo has an outlaw too. You mentioned that eco. These are free frags.
Oh yeah.
The freest.
And he heard Trent there as well.
So he knows there's more.
Easy pick'ems.
Just on the other side of this wall, Trent will fall.
They're not trying to mess around with Icy anymore. Boo's sitting at 16 HP. I mean, it's a 5v2. Just group up, use your utility on the hit. Don't cut any corners. Even the Sova Dart in the spawn smoke. G2 right now need to just get as many guns out of the hands of Team Heretics as they can, but I don't think they're going to get much right now.
No, a flawless round. And I think in that round, we saw a little condensed package on why Heretics are so much fun to watch and why people are so excited about them. You have things like Boo just fighting 3 with an outlaw, and yes, it wasn't an eco, but to have the gall to stand there and take the fight, while also, once they do commit to the side hit, the dart, backside, every single corner check, the smokes into spawn, like, they play both at such a fun style. And again, it makes sense why people are excited for these guys.
But the question is it too late? Was that attacking side of G2 too much for Team Heretics to handle? Or is the 9-3 curse a real thing?
They're up to 6 now as another timeout is called, this time from G2.
Yeah. And look at the ults online.
We'll take a look at that as soon as we get back into that. I do want to get your thoughts here on this though, because as momentum starts to shift the way of Heretics, as they're starting to put this together, as they're having to find an attempt at a comeback with this crazy comp, if you're G2, what are you looking to shore up? Because these last couple of rounds really haven't gone their way.
I think re-clearing should be the name of the game for G2 so far.
Sure.
Because they've played really passive almost every single round up until that, that eco round, which on the eco round, it's fine. We can play a little bit loose. Let's see what's going on.
It's an eco, yeah.
Because Team Heretics have been playing these rounds so slow.
Yeah, they have.
Much like G2 did on their attacking side.
Yeah.
So I feel like G2 right now, they need to consistently try to re-clear space. Play up in the beginning, and then maybe fall back, push back if you get pushed off. And if you get pushed off, then you re-clear. Now, speaking of the ults, you got Sova ult online, Patatek sitting on the Seekers, and an Omen ult, which is not something you see every day.
And used instantly.
Oh, they hear this. No commitment, though.
I've got your trail.
There was one tag with the ult. They're fully committing onto this B, aren't they? A couple of ults already used, and a kill found off the spam on a pad attack.
That's nice.
That certainly will help stifle this comeback attempt.
Good flash from Jonah.
A beautiful flash. But Rien's continuing to cause problems. One of two that remain against a healthy G2.
Numbers are definitely in favor for G2. That Molly will miss.
There's not a ton of utility here. Boo has a paranoia. Mr. Rien's has drones, but you don't really want to step into a drone in a 2v3 like this.
Oh, good paranoia to delay the retake. That allows Rien's to reposition. And also Boo to get into the site.
They're digging their heels into the site here. Refusing to relent. One will fall, but Boo with 30 HP. How does he get two? There's no way, surely. Surely there's no way. Yeah. Icy gets it to half, takes the fight, gets G2 to map point.
Great work from Valen to just sit and spawn and just delay as much as possible, live for as long as possible, get the info on where the players are, and that opens up the opportunity for Jonah, for I think it was Leaf and Icy in that scenario, to just play together there and get the trades onto site. They weathered the storm. They allowed the chaos to not overtake them. And then Icy just knew. He just had an inkling that Boo was somewhere on site. Frustration in that post plant.
That's pretty good.
3 ults on the side of the defense. Who are looking to take us to the third map.
It's such a good bait, Doug.
Icy's in such a good spot.
Almost the 30, gets it on the fadeaway.
Connecting off of the util from Trent.
And that's another showstopper online. I mean, this should be game right here. 5v2, so many ults online for G2. What an answer back this map has been.
Strength shown. And Boo's trying to navigate this pit.
Oh, it's so hard.
It's impossible.
I mean, 3 players at spawn for G2, and Valen, he's willing to give all of A-site. They're willing to give this up.
Yeah, that right there.
That's a big kill, though.
Will help. But still, a 2v4 with all of those ults.
G2 are playing. They're playing the right way right now. I mean, it's nearly impossible to lose this round.
One enemy remaining.
There goes all the ults. And it secures the kills. Now Boo with knife out. Trying to play an A. Will succeed. But that might be the last song he sings in this map.
Cover going out.
Boo in a 1v4. The smoke to provide some cover. But the ace for Icy to send us to map 3. A dominant performance from the #2 America seed. They say every banger ends on split. We'll see if that's the case on the other side of this break.
Defenders win.
Beautiful. Boom, boom. All right, let me update chat real quick. Let me update Cheddaruski with it. What chat is? What was an decider map? Forget what I said. It's too early, man. Holy shit. What was it? Split? Bind? I'm faded. We'll have to wait for that one. Alright, we got tie ball game, baby.
counting paper guap, it might be mine. It might be mine, yeah. If you want one, then you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shawty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer. I'm a racer, yeah. Out of eyes tryna put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap, it might be mine. It might be mine, yeah. If you want one, then you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer. I'm a racer, yeah. Lil' shawty, always out of molly. You ain't really gotta talk, so like why you tryna stop me, yeah. Hey, nobody finna come and body me. I know what you want, but you ain't gonna come top me, what? Yeah, I gotta check, I'm finna cop Balenciagas. Yeah, I'm living with no stress, I don't gotta carry choppers. Purple Corvette, now I'm riding with your daughter. Gucci camo vest, quit the plotting, I'ma stop you. Yeah, I've been riding with a gang, I've been shut up with a...
Oh, dude, a bad storm's coming? NOAA predicts above normal. Oh, shit, bro. Above normal 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. Johnson, turn the music down, man. Come on. All right, sorry about that. NOAA predicts above normal 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, national oceanic and topography. Forecast calls for an active hurricane season. Could California see another? Oh, dude, California. Oh, we're back, chat.
What the accident is, bro? Like, what is it? Benji Fishy just...
Oh, never mind. They're gonna review it a little bit. We are Gucci, dude. I forgot. Yeah, so I guess they're trying to say it's gonna be a crazy hurricane season, pretty much. Issues its most aggressive hurricane season forecast on record. Yeah. It's crazy because Brazil just got flooded. Like, storms this year have been really crazy. They yeah, that storm that went through Brazil, man, they like flooded everything. Sadly. Crazy.
To see what Team Heretics had cooking with this composition, which I know kind of running the Omen, running the Soviets, a little more common in EMEA.
All right, we're
but
back.
In North America, in Americas, it has been almost 100% these either Gecko KO or Gecko Sky compositions. And you really see the power of it here, right? That combo is so tough to deal with. First Sky Flash is coming in, then that Gecko's coming in at the same time, and you can't really break the dizzy. The layering of the utility was just beautiful, and you saw the result for Icy. He was feasting in this game. And for a guy who's like kind of been the like ire of criticism in
He's been a bit of a
Americas
punching
for
bag,
so
I
long.
think, in the region.
And
sure.
I think at times that has been warranted. He's had some pretty rough performances throughout the Americas run, but here in the global stage, where it really matters, a game away from playoffs, he's stepping up big time.
Oh, definitely. And the moment that they needed to do it, they were saying that they didn't believe that they were a comeback team. Well, they were starting to do it, because if they want to make it to playoffs, it has to be with this third map. It's going to be very interesting. But again, I'm very happy to see that he's having this kind of performance.
Yeah, again, like G2, I think like showing this back-to-back, these comebacks, they haven't closed the deal yet, but they did get it done on this second map, is again just showing the growth from this team from the first few times we saw them when they were making that like debut at Iceland and ended up falling flat in 2 games there, to the team who, for people who don't know them, they decided to stick together after not making partnership, went all the way down through tier 2, won Ascension as a squad, have made made it all the way to Americas and are now here at an international event, one map away from playoffs.
Just
it's
a
an
couple,
incredible run.
Grizzled young veterans.
Yeah,
You know, that's
they're
what it
all
feels
like 20, but they've been playing together for, it feels like 10 years.
Yeah, it's truly incredible. Of course, that is now going to take us over to map number 3. It's going to be split. So I was looking at the numbers because, you know, I'm just
You're a
digging
numbers
some
guy.
numbers. I'm a numbers guy this event. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but for G2, I mean, this is not. Oh, sorry. Is it
I
split?
think it might be split.
Might be split.
We'll see.
Well, you know what? Next time on Dragon Ball.
I'm going to
we'll
say
think-
that Ascend is Team Heretics permaban, and it says also that it's banned. So I'm going to say that it's split, and I'm going to
Oh
apologize.
yeah, Ascend is banned on the
Yeah.
screen.
I've been doing my homework here. We apologize. It
It's
looks
crazy.
like it's Ascend, but it is split. I can give you that. I'll tell you that.
It's crazy how my eyes work. I just don't look at the bands. I'm just looking
No,
at
I
the
mean,
map.
I didn't look, but I was like, I would be very surprised if I hadn't spotted that one, because that would be a treat.
But the guys to be looking at heading into this third map, which is, to clarify, split, have to be Benji, Fishy, and Leaf. These two have been kind of the icons for their respective team. Leaf even kind of bringing up Benji's name quite a lot, but they're both incredibly impactful lurkers.
Yeah.
And I think for both these teams on their attacking side of split, what pressure these two players can provide with either a lurk setup towards that C or A extremity, creating space, really is kind of make or break for their respective IGL, be it Valen or Boo, in what options they have to call in the mid round. And both these guys, I think, really have a chance to make a huge impact on
Yeah,
map 3.
and hear me out. We've been talking about the compositions, maybe some changes, but what we do know is that Benji is going to be on that cipher. Like, why would they change something that has been so strong in EMEA? Just wait 5 minutes until they change the composition.
Imagine.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also going to be the question. When they had a previous composition, they've been trying up with some different agents, but I really feel like the one that they're running now really suits them, and they feel really comfortable. But the impact that both Leaf and Benji can have on both of the sides, it's so massive that it's going to be #1 priority here.
Can you remind us what comp they've been playing recently in the EMEA?
It's Omen Viper, Cypher, Sky, Race. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So most teams, I think, across regions are still running a lot of the solo Sky stuff on this map, sticking to that double controller, which has been honestly really solid. I think this is the one map where I'm kind of still down with solo Sky to happen. But again, to kind of reel this one back more so to the implications as we get ready to hop into the agent select here for split, this is a huge win if you can get into playoffs this early, right? You have that guaranteed 4 days off before you're getting into playoffs, have that time to rest, to come up with new ideas, to scrim, especially for Team Heretics. They were saying they've only scrimmed.
That's actually huge too for like
And it's crazy. You were
how the schedule is for the
the history of these players, but for Team Heretics, for the organization, this was the
I mean, it's, I get that it's only like 7 or 10 days or whatever, but for their schedule, like that is actually huge. How she said like you'll get the 4 days off. Dude, yeah, I feel like if I was like playing, I would play for that like alone, you know.
And now this year they grabbed all
Well, obviously for a championship, but
every single event there is something against them. A player not being there, the visas not being ready, someone not being.
chat, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
Though. That's the thing that makes this team so incredible. It's, you know,
That's the thing. Can you imagine? They're one map away from making it into playoffs. It's definitely like the resurgence finally of the team that was great one time.
And you have to remember what happened when they appeared in Madrid. They played 2 of the teams who made it into the top 4 of that event, HyperX and Sentinels. They had both those squads on the ropes at times. They played 2 close series, ended up losing them both, going down and getting eliminated 0-2. So I feel like there is that pressure on now for them to actually make the playoffs, to show us what they've been showing throughout the year in EMEA.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a pressure-filled moment for both of these young teams here. You know, even though G2, you know, they have shown and proven time and time again throughout the core's history that when they need to rise to the occasion and meet the moment, they have done so, whether it's qualifying for the league, which is the biggest achievement that this team has accomplished, right? Getting into the IL in America is a massive step for them. And if they're able to accomplish this here, it would be big because this G2 team, let's not forget, right? Go back to Reykjavik, the struggle that the guard had to be able to make an even morsel of an impact at all. And now here they are on the precipice of being able to qualify. But on the other side, and to your point, Kukuka, you know, Heretics, they're doing this with adjustments, barely any practice. a Woot who's filling into now that primary duelist role, even though it feels like
looking bad.
It's as natural as applesauce for him, for real. But honestly, I just think that both of these teams have really shown some true grit in this matchup. They've shown true grit in their appearance here. And they both deserve, you know, like to have this opportunity to make it to the playoffs. That's how I feel. I just think that they've really, really shown us that when push comes to shove, they can step up.
Yeah, they're both really young teams, too.
Yeah.
G2 has been together for a long time, but all those boys, I mean, for most of them, it was kind of their first big roster. Icy's a rookie this year. Team Heretics have rookies of their own, and they're also a team with so much fresh talent in this game. So it's going to be great to get into this third map. We are waiting right now.
That's
Lobby
right.
crashed out. They're remaking, so we're hoping to get in soon.
I love that. That is the iconic Fortnite pick that I.
What does that mean, Turst?
I don't know, but
you should be the one.
Could have been a
You're the
misspelling.
youngster here. You should be the one telling us what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
Give us the internet info.
I'm not
Give us the internet info, okay, boomer.
I don't watch TikTok. I'm not relatable.
I didn't mention TikTok.
Dang, called out in real time. Just I'm trying to antagonize you guys over here. That's all I'm good for.
Spam the chat. I'm actually interested to see. I'm just doing your
Spam
job
the
now.
chat.
Have to update on the delay. Have to say to spam
I
the
was
chat.
ready to update everyone. Okay, you took my job. I'm only here for one thing, Mimi. I'm the fleshy meat bag that throws a commercial break.
50-50.
Oh, well,
Well, it started, the votes are starting to kick
Yeah.
in now.
I'm actually
But
curious.
it's still almost 50-50. What's
the time difference?
The time
zones.
Oh yeah, well right now it's
Get the bop on real quick. Let's just bop for a second.
I was so confused. 9:30 p.m. Maybe that's the time zone making the difference for me.
Just straight bop on it.
It actually is. The jet lag's in. You can see Team Heretics fans stepping up big time.
Let's bop with it.
Out of eyes tryna put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beamer. In my beamer, yeah. If you want one, then you come in with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that.
That was actually pretty awesome to see. Of course,
Too also, like, they didn't have like a huge number, but the people who showed up for them in Americas were loud every time. They made themselves heard, and I feel like this is a team who has really gained more and more fans as you've seen their run. Fallon especially, every time you hear that guy talk, he just like exudes maturity and like knowledge, like
and wholesomeness.
Yeah,
He's very humble. He's very.
I mean, just the whole narrative of like they declined tier 1 offers to stay together in tier 2.
Not many people would do that.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, after this, I'm going straight back for a nappy poo, dude.
Well, in the Americas region, at the very least,
But I feel like they are the best example. There have been other teams who've done the Ascension Gauntlet, but it's never been as long-standing.
It wasn't like for them. It was like purely choice, right? Like they stuck together because they felt confident that they.
Because I mean, they've hit the tier 1 heights before. They've been to a global event before, and they have to start from scratch.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. If you're just joining us, you can see at the bottom left of your screen there.
Right.
Ignore, huh?
You can hold up like your 2 fingers and see.
What? No, they're just saying tech pause. You know, the graphic at the bottom.
I'm just
killing me right now, Mimi.
troublemaking.
You're trolling me, okay? No, but yeah, we got a little bit of an issue on stage, but we're getting that sorted. I believe we should be good to go. Players, as I can see on the screen, are loading in.
I want to see something crazy, please.
You know what's incredible, though? I mean, we're going to be talking about these
to
players
not
for a
make
long
sense.
time.
That's
you
what
know?
I want. I want it to not make sense. Whomever wins here, I want it to not make sense. And if Team Heretics wins, let's just bring back the fact that both Neil and Patatek said that they, you know, but you know, it's gonna be boring.
Patatek is
Wait,
angry.
what?
Wood is on
correct?
Viper?
We know that there was a tech pause, but is it big? Because this is the thing, right?
It's a
Like,
bold
which was
move, Kyan.
Viper. It doesn't make sense, so I like it.
Well, EMEA analyst, go ahead, tell us how often do we get this?
Right?
This is this is weird. I mean, we were talking about Wood stepping up for the race, but for the team, but I didn't expect this one.
Job's not done yet. Winner here is going to advance to the playoffs. Who takes it all? Let's send it back over to Doug and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, GB. Yeah, it's only fitting that an NA versus EU clash with playoffs on the line ends on split. And of course, it's going to be with a little bit of spice added to it. Woot, who's been the duelist this entire tournament, switching over to the Viper O while Heretics takes the reins on the Rays. I'm really excited for this one, Dre.
Yeah, and it's not unfamiliarity for Woot. He plays Viper on this map, and Mini Boo's normally the Rays, so I think it's more of just a comfort pick for the gang. And I mean, this is gonna be interesting, because the last time we saw G2 play this, they lost to 100 Thieves, but they looked really good with the Fade change. They normally ran the Cypher with the Breach.
Where are you?
An early eye mid from Trent.
Bring them down.
And a fault line B main, but it's all a ruse because they're leaning towards A. The flash does connect from Reigns, but they still don't know. It's not guaranteed information.
No, but there's enough to make him suspicious. Heretics first to feel the contact and first to fall. Rian trying to catch a really nice timing, but with the paranoia in his face, has to give the space back up. And now a nade at his lap somehow still gets a parting gift and a kill.
That could have been really bad for Heretics, but they bring it back. And the lurking breach opens up the map. That's all the space gained.
The classic lurking breach. That's just crazy, but he's gonna find space. The thing is, though, the 3 members of G2 that are up are weak.
A good fault line to delay the retake.
This has the potential to still go sideways for G2 here. They're not out of the woodworks yet. Choppy waters to be
30
navigated.
seconds left.
Look at the minimap. Woot is still on A site.
He's
thinking
paranoid.
that maybe there's a lurk or something going on.
Yeah. Unaware of the fact that they're all here.
Spike planted.
Now that's going to buy a little bit of time. Jonah P's fault line might be back online here very soon. Woot now pushing forward with a ghost in hand. A classic for Boo. First corner cleared. Plenty of noise being made by Valen. Does he have any idea of Jonah P's position? No. Stuck a barrel in his ear, not able to land the shots on the second. The pistol goes the way of G2.
And I thought Woot was gonna read into that. I mean, I felt like the jump spot of Valen in that spot was so obvious that it was gonna be somebody on the default box. And he kind of half cleared it, but Jonah P has been so crispy in these last 2 maps. I mean, he really brought it back and was a big factor of why they won that bind. I mean, they started down 0-3 because Pat Attack was going crazy on the pistol rounds. I mean, this time around, he gets dropped.
We're starting to see some of the chess game play out. A little bit of early utility from Benji Fishy, setting up all of his traps A.
Dropping spike.
That Fade Eye didn't connect on anybody top ramp, but it's all to show pressure there on purpose and have Heretics read into it. You see Valen hanging around here trying to hear if there's any re-clear utility on the A ramp side.
Woot's gonna get ahead of the orb. He's gonna find a timing. He just doesn't really have a gun to do much with. That's just tough, man. Trying to make a play. If they end back B, there's the teeth of this stack.
Good mid-rounding from G2.
Yeah, really nice.
To reposition, go vents, and just split this A site.
Benji Fishy's gonna be ahead of it all. But he's here by himself.
And he does that?
How much more can they get away with here?
I mean, you wanted spiciness.
Well,
you have it.
Well. Leaf's gonna clean up Rian's.
Yeah.
Leaving Patatek and Boo on their own.
Spike planted.
And so Boo again is the last one standing. And they know exactly where he is.
Yeah, so much committed onto him as well. The fault line, the Omen flash, he can't play anywhere.
Yeah, that sucks.
Nice anti-eco from G2.
In the line of fire.
And yeah, we may have seen a crazy shot from Benji there. But the spacing and the trading, just all too good for G2. I mean, look at this. Okay.
Right.
Yup.
Right.
Yup.
Uh-huh. Sure.
I mean, sometimes the bullets don't hit the mark at all, and then other times it just is a magnet to the head.
Other times they're heat-seeking.
I mean, I see. Imagine being him in that moment.
There's just not much you can do.
Doesn't even know how he died.
Much more formidable weapons in this round for both sides.
And only Trent's fade eye shown in mid here. No fault line B. Kind of similar to the pistol, but not really. I wonder if Woot was going to spam off of this trip being broken.
They're so close to it. After the miserable trip to try to clear, there's really no easy way to do it. The dog is the one that takes first contact.
Yeah.
Poison's off.
And I thought for a second Jonah P was going to position his fault line here to hit into that vent, but he didn't need to do anything there. And all this mid control, all this mid space gain from G2, this is a big part of the map to control. I mean, now the defenders are forced to back off into their respective sites and play setups. And this is what you want when you're running a breach. You want the enemy team to be playing in sites. This split might be huge.
They have no idea that they're here. The flash didn't tag anyone garage from Rians, and they're so far up already. That's going to be the cue, but Rians has dodged the utility himself. So is Boo. Valen able to get the best of him. Oh, that would have been filthy.
Poison's off.
Numbers the way of the attack. The site is wide open. The spike is planted.
Spike.
Now it's on Patatek and Benji Fishy to pull this one off.
Yeah, and they're taking all this spawn space. 3 players of G2 playing a post spawn and spawn. It is not planned for them. Keep that in mind.
Yeah,
it might play a factor into this.
They're looking for the fights.
Poison's off.
Oh, the proactivity from G2 is too good right now.
Enemy remaining.
The shots will land. Benji Fishy is left alone. And as he tries to go up under the ropes, all he meets is bullets from Leaf. That's now 3. The way of the attack. The bone is fully online.
And G2 played a great macro round here. And Valen getting this kill, this trade onto Reigns there and just living and allowing his teammates to split and get the trade onto the site player. I mean, it's beautiful. Taking control of all that mid space allows the breach to get a lot of value when players are just funneled back into the site. Heretics did a good job of getting proactive in that B main, but they didn't get the trades to go their way.
They've got to know the Boo's close here.
A new look to the anti-eco. It's B main pressure, B main control for G2. Maybe trying to set up a future round.
Again, the flash just a bit off. As far as timing goes, not connecting onto anyone and potentially giving false info. You see the idea here. It's very similar to what we saw in the previous round or 2 rounds ago. The trip is the contact. The trip is the cue.
Exactly. G2 are playing such a slow round. Oh, that's so nice.
That's what they did a couple of rounds ago. It's a really cool idea. And then they use the satchel to clear it out, and they vacate the space. I mean, they're just toying with Heretics here.
Heretics do have a read onto this, but can they actually hold the site? Jonah P will be committing the breach ult.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere for Patatek to go. As Rian tries to swing out and try to capture timing on a fight, he's just met with a barrage of bullets. Boo with the Sheriff in a 1v4. We've seen this one before.
Yeah. I mean, this is surely impossible. He's hit some nice Sheriff shots before, but G2 right now, there's no corners being skipped right now.
Yeah, yeah.
They have all bases covered, and it's already 4-0. This is getting out of control. This is why you're seeing a timeout from Team Heretics. They're holding positions for their teammates as they're scaling. The utility is on point right now. Even the micro things like Trent in that mid area using the Prowler to have the trip activate on it and then running through so he doesn't get hit by it.
Yeah.
If someone's in vent there or anything, he gets a free kill potentially.
Right.
He doesn't get slowed down by anything like that of the sort.
This so far has felt like a Valen masterclass.
Yeah.
On how they've approached the map, on how they've decided to play around with their emotions mid and then hit extremities. It's just been really nice. It helps that Jonah P is having a really good game.
Yeah.
G2 look good here, man.
It's really reminiscent to the attacking side of Bind, where they just kind of just played this chess game. The only difference here is that G2 won the attack pistol.
Yeah.
And the bonus. It's got to be a good feeling.
So on the other side of this timeout, Heretics with pistols, or excuse me, with rifles, and still looking for their first round of the map. No real meaningful ults. Kind of on the precipice here. Boo has his online, yes, but
right there.
Not much more.
And a change of pace here. G2 gonna take the matter into their own hands and take fast A ramp control with this breach, fault line, and satchels from Icy.
And the fade over the top to make sure.
Oh yeah.
In case there was anyone there, but no one found.
Okay.
And that little hesitation.
Oh, this is dangerous. Oh, that's so dangerous. And the mollies and 3 members waiting on the other side. Woot.
Spike down.
Not on the duelist, but still dealing damage. Now Valorant creeping forward, clearing the trips. Getting out onto the site. Leaf and Jonah P.
Spike planted.
Really close.
But Leaf has slipped the net. I think Heretics are semi-aware that there could be a lurk somewhere.
Yeah, they don't have any control heaven. They've got to be careful for that.
But if Leaf plays his cards right, it could be disaster for Heretics.
This is really nice.
Good delay.
They're using really nice scaling utility from Jonah P in order to create some space. Valen now tucked.
They're in such good positions for that, but how does Leaf go down there?
Spike has been going on for a long time. What a hold. Boo's forced to make a play here. Time is of the essence. Yeah, Jonah P spotted. Fancy footwork will buy just enough time. The kills go the way of Boo, but the round goes the way of G2.
Heretics did a really good job catching Icy off guard with that re-clear utility. But Valen, he crept through A main, gets the trade, and then doesn't die to the trip on site. He was so aware of that. And then in that post plant, I mean, the number of rounds that G2 wins on the post plant,
it's criminal.
It's insane. I mean, Jonah P's utility there to just delay and allow Leaf to creep up into that heaven area. And yeah, he gets like absolutely obliterated by Benji Fishy.
Me dying actually
but that
made them speed up. And then
exactly what he just said, Doug. I don't even need to say it.
Well, we don't have time to say it either as we're back into the next round. Boo with the rifle in hand. And he is A, where Leaf is taking a little bit of space.
I thought for a second he was just going to go straight into the A site.
This is going to end up back.
He hears all the rotations.
Yeah. So they can call them back towards A. Or Leaf could just scale into spawn.
This is...
What's interesting here, though, is that the rotation isn't coming through already. Now it's starting to lean B, but Leaf is so far behind them, and they have no idea who will fall, and now they realize they've been infiltrated.
How did he get there?
Uh-oh, wait. Who's ahead of this? Oh, they get 2? They get all 3? It's gone horribly sideways. But Leaf and Valen still trying to stabilize. I don't think the paranoia connected. Patatek is here, but yeah, he's weak. The smoke keeping them at bay.
One enemy remaining.
Leaf has won the round by himself.
30 seconds left.
He's on for it all. Patatek has to play hero. Valen gets the kill. That was a Leaf round from beginning to end.
Did Valen just spam him through the smoke right there? And then, yeah, Leaf just in spawn within the first 20 seconds of the round. And while all that chaos happened for Heretics in A main, he's just picking them off like flies on the flank.
Down A.
That was so nicely done by Leaf, man.
This is nuts.
One enemy remaining.
Look at this. Oh, he saw the barrel.
Nice. Come on, Jake. Perfectly played.
Everything going the way of G2 right now.
It really was perfectly played. 9-1 for Valen, 9-2 for Leaf.
6 rounds on the attack, Doug. On split. The last time Heretics played this map, this comp, they got obliterated by Fnatic. And it's looking like G2 have taken that blueprint and applied it with their own.
There are 27 kills amongst 3 members on the side of G2. We're 7 rounds into the game.
My ult's ready.
Heretics with the numbers advantage here.
Yeah, but at this point, I feel like...
Uh-oh. There's still a rocket in the hands of Patatek. Somehow they both miss. Valen played a perfect round. He's going to have to do it again here if he wants to pull off this 1v3. Spotting the first, the pre-fire was so clean. Dealing damage. Oh, he's going to get it again, isn't he? He's going to pull this thing off. A 1v1. Valen, who's been the architect of a perfect round before, is going to have to do it again, and he delivers. The Red Bull clutch for G2.
The IGL, who has been putting up huge numbers in North American VCT. He does it again. And it's these scenarios, even the 2v3s, the 1v3s, that G2 are winning. Heretics had such a good early start to that round, but Valen answers back every time.
A 4K, 13-1.
He wants it.
This thing is out of hand.
Yeah. Right now, Heretics are definitely on the back foot.
And they just burned their second time out.
You have to, though. If you don't, this might be another Fnatic situation. I feel like there's just not a lot in the tank right now for Team Heretics. They look slow. Lacking the discipline in that moment in the 3v1. But Valen played it great, to be fair.
He played it perfectly.
Yeah.
Again. And yeah, Trent doesn't have a kill again, but honestly, who cares right now?
This team is so impressive because everybody can step up when they need to.
Right.
There doesn't always have to be a star. That's the beautiful thing about this team. They're a real cohesive unit.
Fun little trip, B, but there's nobody on the site.
It's the masterclass that you were talking about. I mean, it's been the right call almost every single round, Doug. It's a free B site.
I see really nice spacing here.
It's a free bomb plant.
Yep.
And Jonah P also has the breach ult online. It's available.
He's got to be careful, though, because there's a flame coming from Rienz. That's such a deep hit.
He's playing for it. They're so aware.
Yeah, he knows. What a mess. How do Heretics get into this?
I don't know. This is such a good Viper's Pit. And this is all just to delay.
Oh, did he TP past that?
He did.
Oh, he did get tagged, though. Jonah P feeling the pressure. VCT, she's already fallen. Every single member of Heretics crumble. Woot looking to connect on the spam, and he can't.
It's just an absolute stomp.
It's a slaughter.
The Viper's Pit on the site. Jonah P with the breach ult timing to delay the retake.
From heaven, yeah.
Yeah, create pandemonium. Boo, yeah, he TP's past it, but I mean, all he has is a judge. I don't know what Heretics can actually do in this moment. I'm even at a loss for words.
I mean, they don't either.
I can't imagine what it feels like to be playing against what's going on with them right now and how this G2 roster is just, like you said, having their way with them.
A pit mid this time from Woot. Same trip we've seen the last couple of rounds.
But again, the pack of G2
Screen down.
are at the site where there's only one player. As I say that, Benji Fishy, of course, will rotate over and maybe sneak his way into the site. There he goes. Ask for Viper wall up from Woot to do so. But look at this. Both initiators at B trying to sell that it's a fake. And that's going to open up a ramp.
Grenade.
Can Valorant do it again? I mean, he's still alive.
I mean,
not
anymore.
Yeah, he got taken out finally.
Barring something ridiculous, Heretics will find their first. A flawless round. Desperately needed.
Jeez. I thought for a second, you know, with Valen still being alive, that he would.
I mean, who knows?
Have the potential to bring it back.
Yeah.
Because that's been the name of the game so far. Like I said, Heretics have actually been doing a decent job in these early rounds, getting the man advantage. It's just been those scenarios where the bomb is down and they have to scale in, where they're just getting caught out, not getting the trades.
Right. As soon as they get an advantage, it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Where are you?
And so into the next we go. An early satchel up, a ramps, an eye to spot anyone early, and a wall to play behind.
Face your fear!
Another free sight.
Nightfall will not connect. Oh, but the utility is going to delay for so long. Woot tried to tuck under into hell and catch him slipping, but
Where is everyone hiding?
That's a big kill on the Leaf there. And they get full info that all 4 members are on site. What can they do with this, though?
Bring them down.
G2 may be cornered, but they play together so well. Are they going to be proactive? Are they going to triple swing?
Tuck backside to Paranoia, connected onto a couple. Icy's in a really good spot, though. Clothesline. Jonah P, a 1v1.
The Professor.
Looking to put a clinic on, but can't land the shots, can't steady the aim. And Heretics will get their second.
Back-to-back rounds. They caught Leaf off guard there. And that's ultimately what allowed them to bring that back. G2 did a really good job of getting Icy in there. Everybody else throwing util for him and then going in after. But it ultimately was too much in all the pandemonium and the chaos on the site.
Yeah, Rian's hit a couple of really nice shots there. The pop-off still showing signs of life.
Yeah.
And you can see it, they're not out of it. They don't believe they are.
But they need to win these last 2 rounds. They absolutely have to win them.
Oh, 1000%. This is borderline insurmountable if this continues the way it's gone.
A key note here, yes, it's a mid default, but the bomb is sitting outside of B. So this will ultimately end up to be a B hit. Info gathered for G2 that B main orb was grabbed. Just another slow approach.
Screen down.
I wonder if G2 decide to invest any utility into B main, and there's the breach flash to take it. That should be called out from Boo to his team, and that's why you see on the minimap, Rians is rotating. Yep. So there will be 3 here for the actual hit. But this mid trip was not broken by G2 early on. So Benji Fishy, if he doesn't go down at all, there will be no mid lurk. Doesn't matter though, because it's a straight up B hit.
The Paranoia forces Icy to slam into the pillar.
Spam kill for Patatek. Yep.
Boo trying to find a little bit more.
There's a gap in the smoke.
Close on, yeah. Oh, they have no idea he's there. Jonah P turns on him, but it doesn't matter. Leaf in a 1v2.
1 enemy remaining.
Or a 1v3, excuse me. Gets them both. Benji Fishy the last.
Surely not.
Hope remaining for Heretics with 13 seconds left. Spots the cap. Now having to commit to the plant.
Left.
82 HP and 13 armor. Leaf is weak. He's battered. But can he play hero for G2 once more? Expecting the peak, Heaven, Leaf, Tux.
Oh my gosh.
He slipped under him. Oh, Benji Fisher was falling and Leaf lands the shots. The Red Bull clutch for G2 once more.
Another 1v3, this time it's Leaf. Oh my goodness. I mean, it feels like this one is over, Doug.
That might be the dagger.
I mean, Heretics are doing everything right in this scenario, and then Leaf just brings it back by his lonesome. Sucking the life out of them. Nice! Oh my. Everything showing for the way of G2.
Literally everything.
Yep.
It's just so tough when you're getting outplayed on the map the way that Heretics are, and then the clutches and crazy moments aren't going your way either. You're kind of left at a loss. Oh. The discipline box goes unchecked. Has claimed many a life, and there it grabs Ices. But they gotta know he's there, right? How does he get more?
Spike down A.
Okay. This time a 1v4. He's gotten it down to a 1v3. Benji Fishy's weak, Wood is as well. That's not ready. And they're facing him on the other side of the smoke. Very nicely handled by Heretics there. The reposition was great. A 9-3 half the way of G2, and I mean, it could have been worse, really. The last 3 rounds that they win come in the last 4 rounds of the half.
Such a rough map for Heretics right now. I mean, it's hard to even have hope.
Maybe they'll find it. On the other side of this break, we're going to throw down to the desk to break down the slaughter that has been the first half of Split.
So we're going to spend this next minute and change talking about Valen and how good he is at this particular video game, because my boy is cooking. Let's go, Valen. Maybe a little tiny bias there for
that's a little bit
for my future
but, I
analyst.
mean, he's been so good throughout this game. G2 in particular, I think some really well called rounds. Their executes have looked on point in terms of coordination. Yeah. And on top of that, just the individual clutches are unbelievable.
They really are
the rounds that Valen and Leaf have been stealing.
Jesus, and I don't think it's only that. It's the clutches, of course, and the fact that the mid-rounding is so clean and crisp. On the other side, we see a Heretics that is just throwing this opportunities time after time. Here, Valen getting a 1v3 for free. Like, even the players spot them. I don't know if it's that they're tired, that they, are not expecting a player with such confidence in this kind of situation, but it's not only him. We also saw it from Leaf. We're seeing it from every single player.
This is the first time to me where I've watched Team Heretics this event, and I've been like, it makes sense. So this is a team with 1 day of scrimming heading into this. The team that's had a roster change into the event. They've definitely crumbled a little bit towards the tail end of this series on Split. But if you flip back over to G2, imagine what it means to these guys. We were talking about it during the tech pause, but this is a squad who stayed together, toiled down in Tier 2 to make it all the way back up through Ascension, made it to Americas, had a rough season to start, and then recovered.
Barely made it to
playoffs at the very last second by 2 rounds. 2 rounds. That was the difference to beat out Sentinels and make it to playoffs. And now they've pulled it over the line here and are half away from playoffs.
Yeah, they're almost there. But the thing is, could be a little magic in the air. Maybe if you're a Heretics fan, you're hoping for a little bit of a curse, a 9-3 curse. Maybe that could be the case. We'll see, though. Send it back to the casters.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, G2 4 rounds away from punching a ticket to playoffs. Their first international appearance, and for them to do so in flawless fashion without dropping a map, or excuse me, without dropping a series in the Swiss stage would be an impressive feat, but Heretics doing their damnedest to make sure that is not the case. Patatek is just destroyed, though. He gained so much space trade at the beginning, but it was all for naught because G2 are still holding the line. Leaf is a frenzy. Is that going to be enough to keep him back? Rian's close by at a distance, not going to be enough. Trent
Spike down.
still healthy, and Benji Fishy anything but.
And Trent still has a lot of utility to his name. But Benji in these moments, I mean, we've seen him pull it off before in this tap. It's actually the correct play.
Oh, that trick is so annoying. Oh, he tucked under it, almost landed the shot.
Trent very cautious.
Yeah, it's a stalemate.
With this Prowler, I mean, this is going to be too much.
This is textbook. This is textbook.
Benji can't hear
Trent's not forcing anything. Trey, that very well might be Raps.
Yeah, and it looked just like the approach from Heretics on Bind. They went down 9-3, and when they get on their attacking side, I mean, on Bind, it was the A site where they just ran it down. Yeah. In this case, it was the B. I mean, it's like they're trying to speed run their way out of here. Maybe they just want to go next. And Patatek here, I mean, it was a set play, a rush play. He has a shorty, shorty armor and satchels, but the breach of Jonah P, that seize was just too good.
Yeah. Heretics choosing not to force into this round. Just Sheriffs.
Yeah, they learned from the last map, that's for sure.
Well, I mean,
in this case.
I don't really know what other option you have, though.
Yeah. Force and rush B again like they did on the last map? I don't know.
Benji took a little bit of damage there as he tried to scale up ramps.
Oh, man. They're going to run into Icy with a judge here.
He's got full util.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to use it, Doug.
No.
I mean, this is just going to shred them down. They have no armor to their name.
If only he knew what was waiting on the other side of that wall.
Yeah. Here we go. Ah, too easy.
I like the patience on not forcing the swing on the second from Benji Fishy, but it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, they're
really
dropping
nice
like
patience. A swing onto a weak Cypher is just too much. Rian's upgrades the weapon.
Oh, man.
But he's the last one to fight.
Yeah, he has a judge, but... Ooh, he doesn't need one.
Nope.
Apparently.
Not when you're hitting shots like that.
He has to win this round, that's the thing. He literally has to win this round. And it's just so hard to do that. Jonah P is just sitting back sight.
10 seconds left.
Should be an easy kill and a cleanup here for the likes of G2.
He's going to have no idea.
And our job gets a whole lot easier.
I believe this is the second 11-3 we've seen this series. The way of G2.
Running away with it here at the end.
This is about as must-win as we can possibly get.
I mean, they're going to buy out every single round from now on.
Yeah.
Win or lose.
Yep.
You have to. And for G2, I mean, just do damage. Don't let it slip away. Play the long game.
And I think that's a pretty safe bet with G2. We've seen how disciplined they are. We see how they don't like to force things. They don't take uncalculated risks. Well,
good entries?
Yeah, great entries.
A good satchel play from Patty Tech. He beats the fault line of Jonah P.
Now they rotate back.
Yeah.
As silence is played over the site. Trent's going to be the first one there. He's got a judge in hand. So they're going to have to reckon with that.
Oh, and Jonah P getting aggressive in B main.
Getting all that info.
It allows Leaf to potentially sneak into A site. But look, they're so worried that there might have been a lurk already in sight. Oh, they're gonna make it in.
But I think they know, man. They saw the Viper util go up. Jonah P did until they know that it's a fake on the other side. Trent getting one. And Leaf has gotten past this, you're right. The spit will keep them back. He's so patient. Choosing not to spam, but he's not going to find any more.
Good damage done, though.
Yeah.
2 players sitting on minus 50.
30 seconds left.
And Jonah P right now, I mean, if he really wants to, he can just go for all the exit kills. Make the economy of Heretics really bad. Make them have to be on light armor, potentially bulldogs even.
Oh, he's going fishing. He wanted to get a couple of cheeky kills, but we'll not allow it. So Heretics get to 4. You're right, they're going to carry a lot of rifles forward into the next round.
And if they want if they wanted any resemblance of a comeback, I mean, they needed to win that cleanly. Because like I said, if the guns were taken away from them in that scenario, this was that satchel play, which was beautiful.
And the dive from Boo as well.
Yeah, that was good. But as I was saying, if their guns were gone, I mean, this next round would have been probably a wash.
Yeah, it's an eco.
Yeah.
They're expecting some of the early aggression. Look, they've got a fault line set up, a paranoia.
Oh, and this is so cool. It's to punish the satchel play.
But that was really cool. What really nicely played by Boo as well, to TP into Ramen to make him think that it was a TP into Garage.
Yeah. But the reclear here from G2.
There's the fault line.
Oh, beautiful stun. But a 1-for-1 usually favors the attacking side.
Yeah, Icy was just a little ahead of it. Just half a second ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he pays for it with his life. And so things slow down once more. Hear the flash go off mid.
Here.
Concerned about what might be there, but a refreshing of the smokes from Valen will keep them at bay.
I know exactly where you are.
Does he have his fault line? No, Jonah P doesn't.
Good delay from Jonah P, though.
Yeah, that's certainly going to help.
Omen Flash next. This is all buying time for the rotations.
And the paranoia. He doesn't have any idea that there's two on the other side of the box, so they wait out the delay, they wait out the stuns, and they get the sight. A judge is such a brutal weapon to have in a position like this.
And that was a good job from Heretics to kind of just ball up behind that double box. And G2 weren't aware that they just snuck in there. They crept in. Not a lot of teams will push through into a Viper.
No.
Into a Omen Flash. But I mean, when you're down so much, sometimes you have to make risky plays like that.
Yeah.
I mean, not sometimes, you kind of have to.
You're forced to, yeah. They're keeping energy up, man. They're down real big, but they're keeping energy up.
It's just so reminiscent of Bind.
Interesting decision there from G2 to play really aggressive off of the fault line and just demand the space garage. They get the orb in the hands of Icy, who's now 1 point away from having a showstopper in play.
It's such a good job because in these rounds, I mean, it's an eco round. I mean, just keep farming your ult economy up. At some point, you can just use every single ult to win one round. You're at match point.
Right.
I mean, maybe you don't even need to use them all. You know, you win a round with just one.
Yeah, just stagger him.
Who knows? So they are thinking of the bigger picture, the long con.
I've got your trail.
That will be an upgrade for Trent.
I feel like I can like feel my eyes, and they're like, I don't know if I'm like dehydrated or lack of sleep, like proper sleep. But I feel like my eyes are like a bug.
He has no idea.
A great flank around the back. How does Icy get that kill onto Boo?
Wood has been running the entire time, finally rewarded persistence.
One enemy remaining.
How has this gotten into a 1v1?
I have no idea.
Jonah P with the Sheriff? This is
Time
winnable.
low, Doug.
Oh, it's so winnable! What a shot!
What was that?
I missed it.
They stole the round away from Heretics. The MasterCard Thrifty. The Professor back at it again.
Wait.
Taking Heretics to school.
Wait, was it Valen? Yeah, let's get a replay.
That 1v, I mean, it should have never
it's Trent.
1v1.
That's how it happened. The satchel out with the Omen Flash.
Icy.
Beautiful.
Icy did so much work.
Oh, that's filthy. Yeah, look at
same, bro.
Icy, who's been popping off all series long, is reacting like that to his own teammate.
16 and 12 for Jonah P. Again, pace up ramps.
Oh, this is going to be a full 4-man reclear for G2. Protocols for if teams take a ramp.
Patatech has his ult, but here's here alone. They're scaling towards B.
Oh my gosh, they just ran it down into heaven.
They actually did. Patatech's gonna fall potentially without using his ult to close the map. Heretics have gotten so much space on site though. No ult to speak of for G2. Full rifles though, full armor. And Heretics again scale into spawn. They've got a little bit of time here too. Leaf is gonna be reflanking in through garage. But this crossfire, oh, they're so disciplined with it. It might not matter though. As Benji Fishy's able to get one. Trent weak on the side. Will fall. If another numbers disadvantage is how this ends.
I swear.
Yeah. I don't think that'll be the case, so time's too short.
Yeah, they're just going for exits here, and it's really smart. Destroy the economy.
Oh, I thought they'd go the other way.
Oh my gosh.
Leaf's not able to get any of it. Jonah P will survive with rifle in hand, while Heretics carry 3 of their own into the next.
That was a really nice call from Heretics, and I mean, it was definitely a risk, but they deposit Patatech on that A ramp quick, really early in the round, and simultaneously, they're already running it up into B heaven. I think they understand that G2 do have a really good reclear on that A ramp to punish anybody left there, and Patatech was just a body bag for them to take that B site for free.
Yeah, he was a sacrificial lamb.
And by the way, this is the first timeout called for G2. Yet another advantage. They have 2 to their name on this half.
Yeah, but this is interesting because this gives Heretics a chance to talk with their coach for the first time since what, round 8 of the first half?
That's a very good point.
It's been a while.
And if they want to come back, I mean, they're going to need help from their coach. And also, with the way that their ults are forming, I know the viewers can't see this, but I have to stress it right now, right here, right now. They have to be snowballing their ults one by one in order to win a round.
Okay, dude, whatever.
You need to somehow win a round. You need to cook up a strat.
If that music doesn't wake you up, dude, on a Saturday morning, I don't know what quite will.
Has something cooked up.
Even though I'm literally going straight to bed right after this.
There needs to be a snowball.
NYC was lovely.
Like they did by Jonah P.
But your boy needs some agua.
Yep.
A lot of agua. A lot of aguacita. And then I need some food. And I need to get some sleep to get these bug eyes locked in. And then we'll be back with some stuff tonight.
Come back, and they do have some of the pieces in this round to at least win this one. Not much to speak up on the side of G2.
That's a good start.
Toxin screen down.
G2 still continue to do a really good job of abusing that orb B, even when they're in an eco situation. They're all huddled up in ramps. That's going to cause problems. They have to give some of the space up, yeah. So the trap that was set gets exposed. Sleep's going to catch something here. No, he's got to clear all the way around the smoke. Meanwhile, here, you're right. You were mentioning it earlier for Heretics. If you can get through this without investing Patatek's ult or Woot's ult, it's huge.
Exactly. And then the next gun round, you just continue the snowball. Try to win one with that showstopper. Or if you get the site for free, you know.
Did the nade miss? I think the nade may have missed. Meanwhile,
Woot's got his ult.
Because of it. A flawless round for Heretics to get to 7.
Oh shit.
They did so without
Patty does too still. Dude, Patty never used his ult yet still either.
What are they going to cook up here? Because on the other side, I mean, G2 are sitting.
It's not over.
Patatek, these were some really nice shots. I mean, yeah, it's an eco, but I mean, these feel good and could potentially give him enough confidence to get some good entries.
Let's go, baby.
Benji's doing his best to will them back into this thing, man.
He really is.
They don't have a chance.
The problem is,
I didn't grab my water.
They've got rifles again. They have an op in the hands of Icy.
They got a ball game, boys.
To play with, including the Rolling Thunder from Jonah P. They've left Icy on an island here.
Yeah, and that pit is invested into mid. Trent will lean back towards B to try to support Icy after he takes this shot, but can't help but feel like he's not going to be able to. Ooh, what a good orb.
Welcome to my world.
That pit's going to go out and cover him up. Yeah, he's got to give the space up.
That's info gathered, though, for this side of Heretics. They understand that there is a raise and a fade towards B site. A Viper is in mid. So it has to be Omen and Breach on A. And they don't want any of that.
Well, I mean, they were rotating back A and now having second thoughts about it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be so hard to run up against an Omen flash, a fault line, especially through that little choke on A main. So they're playing their cards perfectly right now. This is the perfect call.
Leaning into the advantages of the Viper ult that they have up and the wall they can play around.
And Doug, if they can hold on to this showstopper and save it for the retake breach ult, it's used.
Yeah, I mean, they had no way to have any info of what was happening on the site, so they had to invest it. I really like this positioning from Trent, but he swung out just a half a second too early. Now he will be down.
I can't help but feel like that was a huge mistake from Trent. I mean, you're already playing retake. Get out of there when you hear the showstopper.
Jonah P grabbed the op. He still has his ult.
I don't know.
Do you invest it here?
I don't know if you do, Doug.
He's going to try. Oh, it was the fault line. Icy just got destroyed. Tried satcheling out, but Patatek continues to impress. He continues to deliver to Heretics. What in the world? He doesn't even realize there's someone right next to him with the wall up. Leaves left in a 1v3. He's still trying to clear the pit, and he can't. Heretics will get to 8.
And again, I cannot help but feel like Trent should have given all of that sight as soon as he heard the showstopper. He put his team in such a bad position for that retake. Jonah P has an op to his name as a breach. I mean, and then we use the ult too. It's like, oh my gosh, I think G2 made a huge blunder here by investing that. Breach ultimate. It's a 4v5. Icy had already dropped. It's a 2v3 scenario. I get it. You clutched out a lot of rounds on your attacking side, but all you need is one round to close it out.
5 of the last 6 going the way of those Niños.
They gave them a chance.
Yeah, G2 still on map point. They've been there for a little while now. And now another eco buy. Stingers and Sheriffs. And Trent's gonna have his ult online soon. Icy's only halfway there, but Jonah P is a distant memory now.
I mean, this is so tense right now for both sides.
You can't help but feel like the momentum's away the attack, though.
Yeah.
I've got them.
Although the last time G2 won a round, it was a thrifty, so, I mean, who knows? Maybe they can pull it off again. Nage traded flash up, Icy filling. That was very nicely done to clear that back out. Meanwhile, Wood's gone behind enemy lines. Somehow, Jonah P knows though, and he drops him. That's one step closer.
30 seconds left.
He hears that, oh, but he's not able to land the shots. Boo's gotten back out on the site. He's got the spike in hand. He's got help over his shoulder. And he's gotten Heretics that much closer to their 9th round.
I mean, it was looking dicey, but
10 seconds left.
they got the job done. Oh, wait.
Worthless.
That's a really good fault line.
Jonah P in a 1v3. All staring at elbow. Benji Fishy will fall, make it to an ace to potentially close the map. Can he pull it off? They're both right there. The spam onto the first, they're both weak. He's gonna connect it all! And Jonah P aces his way to take G2 to playoffs. What a finish!
What an unbelievable showing from G2. They went down the first map on Lotus and brought it back in spectacular fashion. G2 are here to play, they're the truth, and they make it to playoffs. That 4-day break is gonna be amazing for the boys. Emotions at a high.
Just when it seemed like the comeback was on. 2 thrifty wins to close the map for G2. What a performance.
A 1v4 to close it out.
And an ace for Jonah P. The value he's provided to this squad, not just in that series, but really all season, all year, has been invaluable. For it to end like that, that's just dumb.
That I am taking my booty
To be fair, it was what was happening all
to sleep.
So maybe it was just right. Maybe it was deserved.
It was a G's. It was a G's for G2. Okay, pop off, boys.
Of a way to punch a ticket to playoffs for your team. That's ridiculous.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You love to see it. You love to see it. You love to see it. Bam, 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 bam. I don't have any energy. I would hang out. We could play some Fortnite. But I don't have any energy right now. If I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. So I'm gonna go lay down and get some rest. We'll see you tonight though. For sure. All right. So take care of yourselves. And we'll see you guys later.
You coming with a paper. I ain't texting shorty back, see you later. Yeah, you catch me on that gas, I'm a racer, yeah. Lil' shawty, always out of molly, you ain't really got a talk, so like why you tryna stop me, yeah. Hey, nobody finna come and body me, I know what you you ain't gonna come top me, what? Yeah, I got a check, I'm finna cop Balenciagas. Yeah, I'm living with no stress, I don't gotta carry choppers. Couple Corvette, now I'm riding with your daughter. Gucci camo vest, quit the plotting, I'ma stop you. Yeah, I've been riding with a gang, I've been shot up with a thing, I've been rolling with the same shawty. Ay, I ain't capping every lane, ain't nobody stop my game, shawty wanna make it rain with me. Yes, out of eyes tryna put me on a t-shirt. Shorty want me so bad, do your knees hurt? Yeah, I'm counting paper guap in my beamer, yeah, yeah. If you want one, then you coming with a paper. I ain't texting shawty